All right. Well, hello, internet.
Take magic initiate.
There you go. We
Actually, that's one of my favorite feats. That feat is so dope.
It is a good feat.
What is it? I didn't even look at it.
Really?
Magic initiate. I never choose feats. This is the first time. This is the first time I'm choosing a feat.
I always take points.
Yeah, I wanted to max my shit out. That's why everybody's like, Arnadel's got 20 charisma, and I'm like, yeah.
You could tell from all of the charismatic conversations she has.
Hey, nobody ever said charismatic has to be smooth. Okay?
I guess that's true. Believe me, I see it every other Monday. Believe me.
Hey!
So, hey, everyone, we're live. We've been live for a few minutes here.
You've been live?
Yeah, we have. Sorry for the delay on that. We had some technical difficulties, which seems to happen every time we try to have an online game. Not just this game, other games as well. But anyway, welcome to Princes of the Apocalypse. This is going to be our 4th episode. We're starting again a little bit later than anticipated, but we'll try and make up for it with shenanigans. I have full faith in the party for that.
Is it insured?
Yeah, I took notes, so I remember.
Good. I'm going to get to you in a second, Brittany.
Random thing.
I'm going to get to you in a second. I did just want to say that I lost my train of thought, so that's what that's okay. Oh, tomorrow is what or not tomorrow, Wednesday is what I wanted to say. Wednesday evening, I'm going to be over on Don't Split the Podcast Network playing with Brittany and Celeste, Venture Maid and stuff over there. So rather than doing as much fun as it would be to build Shrek in D&D 5e, I'm going to have to push that off a week, maybe 2. So, you'll just have to come check me out playing over there rather than building characters here on this channel. That being said, tomorrow, Samurai Jack's build from last week will be out.
Oh, hell yeah.
But anyway.
Oh,
shit. Did you have to revive? Oh, wait, no, never mind.
No.
What, did Xanathar's guide, like, affect that?
The Samurai Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's built pretty much entirely from Xanathar's guide. He's
oh, nice.
He's
There he goes. He's so aloof. He's so aloof.
It took fucking 30 minutes to get him all set, and then he leaves.
You can still hear us, maybe?
I can still hear you guys.
Man.
Anyway, yeah, he's the samurai fighter from Xanathar's mixed with the Kensai monk from Xanathar's, because he's got that whole that acolyte monk type background before he goes off and goes to the future and all that good stuff. So it was a pretty good build. I think we the people in the chat, we had a good time making that. But anyway, yes, I'll be on the Venture Maidens channel. So that was basically my big news for this week. So okay. So you know what? And since Britt, since you were so pumped about your notes, why don't you tell us what happened last time for the people who
Sorry.
No. I mean, you took the time to take the notes. Let's get rather than me keep talking, let's hear what you have to say about what happened last time.
All right. You guys jump in if I miss anything or screw anything up. So, we spent a couple nights in the Somber Hills. We found 4 graves with rubble on top hastily dug, containing a male dwarf, a female human warrior, artisan, male dwarf artisan, male human warrior, and then male human, so 3 male, a lot of warriors. Accompanied by... Yeah, and they were dead and died mostly from arrow wounds. Female warrior has bludgeoning wounds. That's what I wrote. Then we spot a tower off in the distance, and we decided to do a drive-by investigation of the spire.
Yep.
At this point, I remember that I'm supposed to investigate the disappearance of Salva Belladanta, last seen at Feathergale Spire, and I'm like, Spire. Maybe that's the spire. we discover that there's a stone bridge that's a sacred site to dwarves. It's made of hard granite and 6 paces wide with no railings. So you want to avoid that during the winter. We meet a family that does sunflower and rock farming. We've got Darunia, Garnet, who's the wife, Maud, the daughter number 1, Pearl, daughter number 2, and Digger, son number 3. So I'm assuming Darunia was the dad that we all talked to.
Yes.
We learned that Davis's character Vaughn. What's your character's name again?
John Vanan.
No. You're
Vanan.
Vanan. Thank you. I was like Vanan, like
White.
Candy in strangers' mouths. Just
Right. Out of his pocket, nonetheless.
Correct.
His pocket candy. Right.
pocket candy. Pulls that.
Who doesn't like that, though? Candy from a stranger's pocket?
We get all this Stonebridge information from the Sunflower Rock farming family, and then we decide at that point to head to Belliard, right? Because all I wrote was Belliard, innkeeper gone missing with statue helmet.
I love it. This, like I said, you could entertain yourself for hours by just watching people reiterate what their D&D notes from last session say. Because they're usually just all over the place.
Oh, yeah, we got wingwear armor.
Yeah, you did get that. That is true.
It has each of our wingwear shit has 1 charge left of 3. And it basically lets us glide, so we can spend a charge to give ourselves an air boost. We have to keep moving in a horizontal. There were a lot. I just wrote 3 charges: 30 foot till land. Alt drops 5 feet. Glide.
That's more. If it comes up, we'll look at it. How about that?
Sure.
If one of you guys decides to pitch yourself off some high place, or it gets teleported up into the air and starts falling, we'll worry about the wingwear rules at that point. But yes, you were able to. You also fought some Ankeggs, the weird underground lobster with the acid blood. And,
yeah, that's right.
You got to witness Lilith in all of her He-Man She-Ra glory twice activate her wings.
Glory.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys will discover that I can fly for a minute.
Right. Okay.
And just obliterate. And Brittany realized the amazingness that is being a paladin, and doubling damage on crits and stuff. So that was fun. And Igni castrated a guy. So there's that.
Did I do that? I did that.
Hashtag dick damage.
Hashtag dick damage. I did that dick damage. That's right.
Yes.
You did that dick damage. Get that dick damage, girl.
Yes, the monks who punched you unconscious. And
they punched me awake.
They did. They punched you. They punched you conscious.
Right, that can happen.
They punched me so hard I woke up.
Not what they were anticipating. All right, so that's a pretty good summation of what happened last time. I don't think I missed anything, or you missed anything on that. So I guess with that, we'll roll into continuing. I will also say to the folks at home, I've already let these guys know, but we were traveling with 10-mile hexes on the map before. That was before I realized that the errata from Wizards of the Coast, which they also just re-released for November, because Xanathar's Guide provided updates to all of the elemental evil spells, where they say that the hexes are now 4 miles, not 10 miles. So the amount of distance that they traveled, we're just going to say they've meandered a lot, because the hexes are only 4 miles. They would have already, with the amount of days they spent traveling through nothing, they would have already been where they needed to be. So, that's fine. We're going to pick up where you guys left off, which was pretty much exiting the Somber Hills out onto the path, which is on to, basically you're connecting to the Stone Trail, which is not too far from the stone bridge itself, And since these are now 4 miles, makes it a day's travel to get to Belliard. So...
Hey, Ted, I just want to let you know that I can only see my forehead on the screen.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I mean, you know, who doesn't want to see your
I
forehead?
mean, I like my forehead and all. I like where it's orientated, but, you know.
Yeah.
That's Davis's move.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
fair.
Just the forehead. I don't want to steal Davis's...
forehead thunder.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yes, it is a nice forehead.
I will adjust, because I guess...
There we go.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Oh, beautiful.
Adjusted.
There's the faces.
Yay.
Okay. So were we walking? We exited the farm
Thanks,
and everything,
Fred, for
right?
that.
Like we gave them a ton of gold and like pieced out after they fed us lunch, yeah?
Pretty much.
Okay.
You were like, gave them more than like they had their whole lives.
Right.
Oh yeah, we hooked them up. What, they get 10 gold pieces?
Something
got
like
a
that. I
bunch.
think it turned out to be more than that.
Yeah, in total. But he answered all our questions.
He did. He was fairly having, you know, you realize that there's not a lot to do in the middle of nowhere on a rock/sunflower farm. So you probably learn the local history, because what else do you have to do?
True.
They read?
I mean, are you judging them right now?
I mean, Lilith comes from Waterdeep nobility, so she's probably like, how do you get books out here? Where did you go to school? Who taught you?
Well, that'd be a question if you were still there that you could ask
Correct.
them. But you're not. So well, maybe if you come back through this way, you can go in and ask all the hard-hitting questions of the poor farm people.
Take a survey of the folks that live out in the rocks.
I mean, technically, Igni can't read.
That's true.
You can't read?
I can't read.
Wait, technically? What do you mean
No,
technically?
She's
Igni
never
can't-
been taught to read.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to read.
She doesn't know how to read. She didn't go to school. She
Yeah.
grew up in a caravan of Russian puppeteers. Like it would.
Yeah, she only knows like, you only know like broken Elvish, right? Like, you know, common and then like not even all of Elvish.
Right.
So-
But I can speak thieves' jar, whatever the thieves can't.
Yep.
And
If you
Hobo.
ever let
And
Lilith
hobo
know,
glyphs.
she's gonna want to teach you how to read. She's gonna be like,
You tell me if that's happened. I don't know if it's
I
come
will
up or
let
not.
You know.
Okay.
Oh, if the offer stands.
yeah, if the offer pops, if you tell Lilith, she will be like, girl, let me sit down, we're gonna do this old school style. Every night we camp, we take one page and figure it out.
Yes. Yes.
All right. If that's, then we can say that that is a thing. That if
What
it's
we do
been,
by the campfire?
yeah.
By the light of the campfire.
Oh
Oh my god.
We like bond. Does that give us like bonding
Girl,
points?
All
Yeah,
of
like
the bond.
montage, you know?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We let me write that down.
Fireside reading.
Along
Fireside
as you guys are roasting your bone marrow fluffs.
Oh,
oh my
marrow
god, what were those
fluff.
called?
BMFs.
Bone
That was
marrow
you.
fluffs,
Bone
that's
marrow
it.
fluffs.
BMFs, bumps.
Bumps. That's right.
Bumps.
That's ridiculous.
God, you know, the next time I go camping, I'm gonna be like, hit me up with a bump.
I think if my memory serves, I can pull up in the chat. I believe that is quote number 67. Oh nope, that's about the mustache.
A big one.
Nope, I went too high. Brain is not working. That's 98. How about, is it 68? Nope, I'm going too far.
Horrible word calls.
Maybe it's past that. Who knows? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It's there somewhere.
It's in there. I promise.
I have a mustache, a big one.
Oh, I was wrong. I think I went too far. 63? Yeah. There we go.
Yep.
And then there's also
Bone marrow fluff.
64.
Damn right. I stand to that quote.
That is a good quote.
All right. That's enough of that.
Campfire
So, yeah, if that's fine,
Belliard.
fireside reading. Got it. Or teaching. Okay. We can add that in as I will I will let you know how that manifests when and if it does.
Cool.
Tight.
So, okay, so you guys are, I don't remember, so I'll just start at the top on my screen, which is Bucky. So, Bucky, why don't you go ahead and roll me a D20, and we'll see if the dangerous Somber Hills have any danger for you guys on your 1 day's worth of travel today.
An 18.
Hey! Maybe. Go ahead and roll me a D12 and a D8. It could be another homestead. Like, who knows?
D12.
Didn't you make that up because
No, I made up the people. The homestead is actually a thing.
I got a 12 and a 6.
Okay, an 18. Ooh, okay. This is early on, so this will actually work. All right, let me roll here. So you guys are. Oh, I think we got. Let's see, 4. All right, so you guys are traveling down the road, and you are now You've basically exited out of the hills themselves into the kind of wooded area along the stone trail. And as you do that, you guys are coming through some woods, got trees on either side, and you hear, actually make me, what's everybody's passive perceptions? That'll be a better call.
Oh.
Ooh. 11.
14.
12.
13.
I can't sense shit in all my armor.
Sure, yeah, that does impede your ability to hear. All right, yeah, so they're not being extra stealthy. So, Vanan, you can actually tell that coming out of the woods are beginning to surround you in a velociraptor-like fashion are 6 wolves. So, like, you see these 2, but you, as the ranger who spent countless time in the forest, know it's not the 2 wolves that you see. It's the 4 that you don't see.
Yeah.
That the ones you gotta watch out for. So yeah, they're stalking up on you. So I guess I'll have you guys roll for initiative. And we'll start it off right, I guess.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh shit.
That's a 20, unnatural 20.
Alright.
17.
Wow.
I changed up my D20,
What?
you guys.
Alright, we gotta What about Vanan? Oh.
What was that, Vanan?
10?
You're super low.
You're super low again.
Yeah.
Yeah, your volume.
Lower than you were before. But I cranked you up as high as I can get you, so. And then there you go. Okay. So, first up is, Vanan, did you tell everybody about these, or did you just, like, let it go?
I would like to tell him about these.
Alright, so I will have he will have been able to warn you that there were wolves. You guys don't see them yet. You're aware that there's something around, and first up is Ozzy.
Okay.
So you can see that, I'll say with his notification, you can see the 2 in front. But you're not aware that there are these, he tells you that there's some around, but you don't see the other 4.
Okay. Do they look hostile?
They seem, you look as you, make me a nature check.
Like they're hunting.
Yeah, make me a nature check.
Nature check? That I can do.
Yeah.
28.
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
So as you're what you've read about wolves, which is pretty much your only interaction with them.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing anatomy of animals and biology and things just from book studies, you can see that these wolves seem to be a bit gaunt. Like the skin is tight. There's not a lot of meat on these things, so they look like as if they are hungry, as if they perhaps haven't fed in a while, and they do indeed, at least at the moment, seem hostile to you.
Okay. Then I want to look towards the party and say, does anyone have food? Hold on. Yeah, fucking throat. Does anybody have food? They look hungry.
Yes, they hungry for us.
I have rations.
Yeah, I have some rations too in a basic.
Can I
I don't know if they're gonna want my trail mix though.
I don't have anything.
No.
Okay.
Shit.
Cool.
You got that woodsy knowledge though.
Yeah, but he's last in initiative order too.
Yeah.
So they go before him.
Shit.
Damn.
I'm going to hold my action in case they go to attack us and like start moving forward, and I'm going to hold again as our Scorcher in case they get too close and try to attack.
Okay, nice. All right, so then it will go from you to Lilith. You see these two wolves as well, the two in front.
They're doing the wolfy thing where they're like hunched and
Yeah,
growling.
the hackles are up, the teeth are bared.
I don't got time for this shit, so I'm gonna walk up and smack it with my sword.
Wow, all right. Go ahead and roll an attack on these wolves.
It's a 12.
I feel like that might actually miss. A wolf? It misses. You miss this skinny ass, this hungry, starving wolf. Maybe your heart
Over.
really wasn't in it. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't really want to kill it. I'm just like,
Anything else?
I don't think I really have much else I can do.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
No bonuses.
All right, then, Igni.
Igni, is there a path to higher ground, like a tree?
There, I did say you were around
Wolves
trees.
can climb trees.
I would like to climb a tree.
No wolves can climb trees.
I would.
No wolf's gonna clamber up that tree edge.
Did you guys see The Hobbit?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, guys.
No, yeah, I would like to. I'd like to climb a tree.
Sure, yeah, you can get to a tree without provoking any attacks of opportunity, as far as you know.
Okay.
And you are a thief rogue, correct?
Correct. So I get that lovely second story.
Yeah, so you just do it.
Right up the tree.
Right up the tree. How high do you want to go?
I mean, I don't really know how this tree's structured, but I'm gonna assume like somewhere between 10 and 12 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm
Yeah,
picking
cool.
up what you're putting down.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Did you want to do anything while so that's just your movement. Did you want to do
That's my
anything while
movement.
you're up there?
Yeah, I actually would love to use the sling and toss, a solid like stone at a couple of them or one of them, and do a one.
For sure. Yeah, you can. These guys are within the short range of your sling. The ones that Lilith just ran out. If you want to go for the one that Lilith went for, you'd have sneak attack on it because she's
Correct.
next to it. So
That's what I'd like to do.
all right.
Actually,
so
that sounds great. Let's do it.
I will
yeah, so I'm gonna
remind
just
you
toss
that
in
thanks
myself.
to Winky, you do have a reroll of a natural 1 if 1 comes up on your end. So keep that in
Oh,
mind.
Winky Slipfoot's out there doing good in the world.
Yeah. So if that comes up.
Okay, cool. So that's a natural 20.
What? I'm sorry.
You were so casual about
Yeah.
that.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So that's
okay, cool. And that's a natural 20.
So yeah, go
So
ahead.
I'd like to toss that
BT dubs.
there for the record.
So that's
Alright, so
yeah.
Okay, so that's 4. So that's 9 points solid without the sneak attack, which is that adds another 9, so 18 points.
9 on 46. Cause you crit.
Oh, nope. let me roll that for you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so in total with the sneak attack damage, it's 12, 17, 21 points.
And that wolf just goes down as you
Oh.
clock it right in the skull with that sling
My
rock.
least favorite sound in the world is the sound of a sad dog crying.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Do you have anything else that you want to murder any other animals today?
I don't think
Alright.
I can do anything else.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then it is their turn. Oh man, we're getting hosts. We're getting subs. This is a good night.
Ooh.
Love it.
Okay. So, then it is their turn. There are 5 wolves left. they are going to exit out of... Now, what was your hold action for Ozzy?
My hold action was if they started to approach, like, me.
Okay. Well, the one that's... Because the one died, the one that's next to it is going to just basically strafe to Lilith, because she's right there. So it's going to try and attack you, Lilith. The other ones will move towards you. You're not aware of them, but I'll let you... I'll describe it when we get there. Oh, man, we're just...
Okay.
Alright. Does, I think, a 12 misses Lilith by a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that one just misses. It just, like... You can see that it's, like, it's trying, but it's, like... Eh. And it's just, like, there's like, metal, like, chainmail. The teeth are stuck in the rings. Can't get through.
Is it really biting that slowly? It's just like, ah. You know, like, when dogs are trying to play with you and they kind of, like, gently... bite your hand in their mouth. They're just like, ah.
No, it's more like if you can imagine like a police training dog where they have the suit that like it bites on it and it's like but it can't get through the chainmail rings because the way the teeth are, it just doesn't get through it.
Yeah.
So that happens. Then the other 4 will come out of the woods. At which point you can use your Agonizer's Scorcher if you want. Is that a cone or a line?
It's a 30-foot line, 5-foot line.
All right, yeah, I'll say you could probably get 2 of them with that.
Okay.
They gotta make a save.
Dex checks, I believe.
All right, let's see.
Yep, Dex checks.
Oh, no, nope, that's a 1. So yeah, they're gonna take full damage for that.
Sweet.
This is the bad pencil.
It's gonna be 9 fire damage.
All right. So you kind of again. You see them all kind of recoil. You start to smell burning hair in the air. They seem to be... They're not dead, but they seem to not be very alive. If that makes sense. They are roasted. Most of the fur is burnt off, and they're sort of... They were already pretty skinny, and now with the fur burnt away, they are even... You can see just how gaunt and muscly these things are.
I'm so sad.
And but they are still alive, dealing with all of this pain. And then, so those guys are gonna stop in their tracks actually when that happens, because now they're starting to rethink this. And then the other 2 are gonna come out. One's gonna go for you, Ozzy, and he's gonna roll 20, not natural.
That'll hit.
And that's gonna deal. What does a wolf do? 2d4. 3, 6. You're gonna take 8 points of piercing damage as this wolf kind of bites into your leg, and then I need you to make a strength saving throw. It's gonna try to rip your legs out from underneath you.
That's not gonna be good.
I believe in you.
That's cocked.
All right.
9.
Your leg gets swept out, and you are knocked prone.
No.
And then the other one's gonna go up, and it's gonna look at Vanan, and it's gonna go for you because you're prone. And I'm gonna crit with a natural 20 on the first roll, so that's. Let's see how we do for Ozzy here. 4, 5, 8. Oop! Shit! Come back here. 8.
Ozzy's gonna die.
13 points.
Hey, I'm still hanging in there.
And you're already prone, so you can't get knocked prone again. And then it is Vanden's turn. Are you alright over there, champ?
Yes, I am okay. It's my turn?
Yes, it is.
Can I attempt to shoot a wolf?
You sure can.
Like that?
You can, yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna roll d20.
You should probably, that's how I would do it.
I got an 18.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely is gonna hit. Which one were you gonna go for? One of the ones that's eating Ozzy, or the one that's attacking Lilith?
The one that's eating Ozzy. Which? Yeah, the one that's eating Ozzy.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me your damage.
Yeah, it's just 2d8s. That's 6 plus 5, it's 11.
11 points? Yeah, that's actually just enough. Yeah, the one it's kind of standing over you, Ozzy, and it's biting into you, and then it just kind of like falls down on top of you, collapses. You have like a dead wolf on your chest.
Oh, great.
Oh.
I'm bleeding, and now I have a thing on me.
Well, at least it's not biting you anymore.
That's true.
Is that it for Vanan?
That's it for Vanan. I'm not going away, but...
Sure. Alright, then we're gonna go back to Ozzy. You are on the ground, there's a dead wolf on top of you, and another one that has a chunk, that took a chunk out of your leg, and it is right there.
Okay, I'm gonna Misty Step away.
Okay. Bonus action, teleport. Where do you want to go?
That's cool.
I'm gonna Misty Step as far away from the wolves as possible again.
Alright, 30 feet away into the woods. Sure.
We'll go with that.
Just...
Peace.
And then I will.
And you watch as the mist forms around him. Excellent. The dead wolf just kind of goes. All right.
And then, as my action, I will shoot a ray of frost at the one that was next to me.
Sure. Go ahead and make me an attack roll with your ray of frost.
10. I'm assuming that misses.
Yes. Perhaps it's the chunk taken out of your leg, or the carnage that just unfolded before you.
Or the fact that I have 8 health left.
That could also be it.
Oh my god.
And all right, your ray of frost fires off, and you miss, and then it goes to Lilith. There is a wolf kind of like gnawing on your chainmail right now. It's not doing any damage to you, but it's right next to you.
I feel really bad for the wolves. I'm not gonna lie.
Tell me what you do.
Lilith, like, it's breaking her heart because she sees this like starved creature, and they're just trying to do their thing, you know? Like, so I kind of I don't want to hurt it. This is gonna sound kind of crazy, but I'm gonna let it continue gnawing on my fucking arm, and
wow.
I'm gonna ask you guys. I have 2 options. Okay, I have something I'm gonna do if you guys are not down with this, but I shout out to you guys, but like, I don't want to kill these beasts. I'm happy to like fly you guys into a tree until we can figure out what to do here.
Igni, I am already in tree. I hate wolves.
Okay, Ozzy, Vanan, do you want me to put you in a tree?
I'm always down to run away. I'm always down to be a coward. Let's do it.
Alright.
I'm glad that we can all be cowards together.
Well, it's not about being a coward. I just don't want to hurt the wolves. I'd rather like help. I don't know. I don't want to hurt him.
The wolf already hurt me a lot.
I'm coming. Okay, I'm gonna use my action to get Radiant Soul.
All right, you guys watch the now familiar to you sword goes up into the air in a He-Man motion. The light ends. The wings are there. You are now. That was your action. You can still fly and all that good stuff.
Then it's like, oh wow, it's just thing.
I also want to remind you that this whole banter of like, I don't really want to do this, what should we do, is like in the midst of combat, right? So you're like fending off wolves.
I literally have a wolf on my arm, and I'm like, I don't want to hurt this thing. So I guess like with the wolf still attached to my arm, I fly the fuck over to Bucky.
All right. So it's gonna make an opportunity attack against you as you fly away.
That's fine.
It's gonna miss. It must be put off by the wings as you fly over.
Away.
He did Misty Step 30 feet away, so your movement gets you to him.
Okay.
So you're right next to him.
Yep. My next action is to pick his ass up and put him in a tree.
Okay. And I'll say you can position
you
yourself kind of in front of him, so if they do come towards you, you're sort of a physical body block.
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay. Igni, it is now your turn.
I'm watching all this happen, and she's like picking them up. Are they attempting to attack them as they are fleeing?
Oh yeah, it definitely attacked her as she tried to fly away. There is
Alright,
the two are basically on the brink of death, that having been hit with the Agonizer's Scorcher. They seem hesitant to do anything because they're barely alive. There is the one that took the chunk out of Ozzy's leg, and then the one that just let go, that tried to get Lilith as she flew away.
Okay.
So there's two up, two are hesitant, and two are dead.
Okay, so whatever one is most likely to attack Lilith as she begins picking our team up for coward status, I would like to hit it with another stone. With
So
the sling.
go ahead and make an attack roll. She's like, I don't want to hurt these, and she flies away, and you're...
Like, yeah. 4, or so, excuse me, 7, which doesn't hit.
No. That was not a natural 1, correct?
It was not.
Okay.
It was a 3.
Alright.
Amazing.
So, it slings past and misses. Then it's gonna go to the...
But you got a 7 while rolling a 3 with a sling?
Yes, and it should be...
My attack bonus is +4.
Isn't it?
Dex plus your...
Yeah, Dex plus your proficiency.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, so even then it still would have been only a... Oh, no, it actually may hit, gents. Yeah, a plus a 6, so a 9, it still doesn't hit.
Still doesn't hit, but better than a 7. Alright, so then it is the wolves' turn. So they are... One of them that was biting into... Ozzy's gonna turn to Vanan, who's right there, and it's gonna go for Vanan. And it's gonna crit on Vanan.
Oh, shit.
4, 6, 8, 10, 12 points to Vanan.
Great.
And I need Vanan to make a strength save, please.
Okay. Strength save. I got a 3.
You get... It bites into your leg, like you just witnessed it do to Ozzy, and it pulls you prone. And then...
That's a strong wolf for being hungry.
Yeah. I mean, hungry like the wolf, obviously. I'm gonna steal that. Celeste said it at first. I can't take credit for that one. I didn't even think about it.
That was...
I'm out.
So, the one will take off running, and it'll actually go for the one that was on Lilith's arm. Will take off running after her, and go for her again. Ooh, it's gonna roll a 22. I'll get you right.
Oh yeah.
2. That's gonna deal 7 points to you as it bites into you.
Hungry baby.
Then it's gonna go to Ozzy again. Ozzy, you watch as Lilith has flown over, landed to you. The wolf she flew away from ran up and just bit into her, and it is... So that's the situation you're in right now.
Okay. I will...
Oh, wait, did I skip Vanan?
You did. Yeah, you did.
I did. You're on the ground, Vanan. What do you want to do? Oh, that answers that for me. Celeste, I was going to ask. So, Brittany, I just want to point out, this was a thing that Celeste donated for, which I don't think anybody has experienced on this stream. So she gave you Timora's Blessing, Brittany, so that is a +1 to every roll you make for tonight.
Ooh.
Everything you make, damage, D20 rolls, all that, everything, healing that you do on other people if you roll for heals, any roll you make has a +1 to it. Best thing to do is to give it for a wizard with magic missile, because that just makes it bananas.
I get to give?
No, you have that on every on every roll. I'm saying if people want to donate them to people, a magic missile turns into crazy powerful with a +1 to every roll.
Shit.
So.
Well, I don't have plus that, but I can fucking... That's awesome. Ah, thanks.
So anyway, that was from Celeste. But yeah, so Vanan, you're on the ground. There's a wolf on your leg. What would you like to do?
I cannot hear Davis.
Are you muted, my man? I'm gonna turn him up.
Yeah, he's muted.
I'm muted. Sorry.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Muted that whole time. I'm gonna stand up using my movement.
Cool.
I'm
You do that.
Stab it.
Do it.
Stab it.
Go for it.
D20 plus is 15.
Yeah, 15 will do it.
6, 8, 7,
11, did you say?
5.
How much?
17.
Oh, yeah. So either way, yes, you... As Lilith flies away, I don't want to hurt these things. Igni throws a rock and misses, and you just fucking stab this thing. Would you like to do anything else now that you have murdered this other wolf?
I'm gonna be like, yo, these guys are dicks. When I'm really hungry, I don't just go find strangers and bite them in the leg. I think they deserve that at least once. Maybe 3 times. 3 times if they're being really big dicks.
Alright.
Yeah, only 3 times if they're being really big dicks. I feel like that's too many more than that.
Alright. Then it's gonna make its way back around to now it's your turn, Ozzy.
Okay, so the one that's standing right next to Lilith, has that one been touched at all?
It has not, because it attacked
Cool.
Lilith and then she didn't do anything to it.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna magic missile it.
Oh, I'm trying to I'm avoiding. Well, whatever.
Yep,
Live
go
the
ahead.
Truth.
It's vicious and I'm terrified. That's 4, 7, 12 damage.
Yeah. You watch as these go around you, Lilith. These magical darts just zip around you and into the wolf, and it just and it drops and it dies as well.
So that's 4?
That is 5. Or that is 4, and the other 2 were burnt and scorched and
Scared.
barely alive.
Yo, guys, whatever happened to that cowardly plan we had? Where we were gonna run away like...
Oh, I'm gonna
It's
say
not my
that they
turn yet.
on their turn they ran off. Those 2 ran away.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Cool.
They dashed
So,
away 80 feet into the woods, yelping, burnt with barely any fur. They
Oh,
probably won't
God,
make it
that's-
through the winter because they don't have any fur to keep them warm.
We
That's
should have killed them.
Okay, let's pause.
literally
Don't
heartbreaking.
guilt us.
Oh, I can.
Don't guilt us for protecting ourselves against these folks.
I know.
I feel so much guilt right now.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wait, but I do have a question. Is
Yeah.
it weird that they don't have any food? Like, it's not winter now, is it?
It's not. No. You don't know. Maybe could be.
They're just emaciated wolves. They're not good at their jobs.
I mean,
I
apparently they're
mean,
pretty
they
good
were
at taking.
good at fucking killing me. Apparently, those fucking wolves were mage killers.
I'm just saying, like,
Mage killing a wolf.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. That's coming in another future game. The mage kill.
mage killing
Those 2
wolves.
come back with a
There's
whole.
feat for that they specifically had. Oh, I gotta find it. I can't remember what it's called.
Those wolves looking for mages to murder.
I mean, Vanon's like in the know and the woods and stuff, right? Like, wouldn't they have like sustainable food source in the woods? Like, shouldn't they be able to catch like a squirrel or 2?
That might tell us the.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, is there something we need to know out of this? Like, is it important that they were emaciated, or does it not really matter?
I am a ranger. I grew up in the woods.
Would you like to? Would you like to make me a check, Van?
I don't even need to. Please do.
Yeah.
Here's the answer.
Okay. What's the answer?
Something.
Oh my god.
Give me a.
something going on. Sorry, roll. What's
Yeah. Give me a nature check. I'll give it to you at advantage
Oh, you give it to me advantage.
because ranger and all that good stuff.
15. Second one is a 1.
But the first one.
Is a 15. So I'm gonna take the 15, and my
Nice.
nature is. My nature is 2. So
Okay. 17.
17.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it does seem a little odd to have creatures like this emaciated out here. This isn't like a weird off season. You're not, you're not necessarily familiar with this exact area of the Desserin Valley, but it doesn't seem to be wholly different from any other forest you've been in. So you would know that potentially, if these things were starved for food, it might be due to something, either the food source leaving for whatever reason, or something else culling that food source so they can't get it.
Okay, so Igni turns to Ben and goes, does it not, she dismounts from the tree. Does it not seem weird to you that these wolves just attack us on the road? This is not normal, and they look so sick.
You're muted
what do
again?
you make of it, muted elf?
Yep.
Nope, still muted.
Still muted. Still muted.
That's it. Oh, no.
Maybe.
Hello?
Hello.
There you are.
Whoa, okay. Sorry.
What do you make of it, elf? It's very strange, these sickly wolves.
Yeah, no, it is odd. This doesn't really match up with the nature and what's going on around us. It doesn't really make any sense.
So do you think it is animals are all gone? They dead? Why?
Well, either all the animals are gone, or something is, killing the animals that wolves would normally eat. That can happen sometimes when settlements pop up nearby and suddenly hunting increases. It can also happen when there's a virus in the herbivores, or if, the local herbivores are eating something they shouldn't be. Or rather, eating something they think they should be, but for some reason is being poisoned.
Oh, so many answers.
Well, there are a lot of possible things that could have happened.
You realize that you've stumbled into something that Vanan is quite passionate about, as he probably speaks more fluent sentences continuously than you've ever heard him speak thus far.
Vanan pays very close attention to things like this.
Yeah. Clearly.
That is great. So, should we glean something from this information?
We could keep an eye out to see if there is anything that we could see that could possibly be causing something. It is definitely odd, and we can definitely ask around Belliard to see if there's been any weirdness in the woods lately.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Cross a bridge, yeah?
Yeah, we gotta cross a bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Are wolves still attacking us?
No, they're gone. There's no you guys are out of initiative, so
staring at the ligaments inside my leg.
True.
That are almost being outside my leg because I'm almost dead.
I walk over to Ozzy and I'm like, "Get on my back."
Get on my back.
Get on my back.
Wisdom it says.
Sure.
Get on.
I'll slump over Vanan's back.
I'm carrying Ozzy.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. He's light. I'm not gonna even make there's no rolls needed. He's pretty light.
Hands.
Yeah, you could
Yes.
Heal his legs.
Yeah, I'll lay on hands.
Okay.
I'll be so he's piggybacking and you're gonna do lay on hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much
+1 to whatever I'm doing.
Yes, that's true. Would you like to how many points are you gonna give him? Don't forget that your lay on hands is now a pool. Lay on hands is a pool of 20 points, and healing hands is now 4 points because you leveled up. So.
Oh, okay. I still have to get familiar with this mechanic.
Yeah. So
Ozzy,
healing hands is an Azamar thing. That's all 4 all in one go. You can't break it up. Lay on hands, you can break it up into any amount you want. You have 20 points total.
So I pull out a little chart, and it's got a bunch of smiley faces. There's 10 to be exact, and they're each in a consequential order of smiling to frowning. And I hold it up to Ozzy, and I'm like, "Pick one."
Is this
I'm
a
gonna point
Lilith Baymax now? Like
she's the middle school nurse.
I'm gonna point to the 7, which is slightly orange.
What level is your pain? Is it?
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 29, I'm probably about an 8.
Okay, so
it's more like a.
You picked the 7 or the 8?
I picked the 7. I said from a scale of 1 to 29, I'm at about.
No. I showed you a picture of 1 to 10.
Oh, I know. I picked the 7.
Okay, so you get 7 HP back.
Okay.
What about on a scale from -6 to 272?
Yeah, so you now you see that this was more targeted specifically towards your leg, the ligaments and things. You are now 7 hit points healthier, and your leg has pretty much stitched itself back up under the radiant, glowing hands of.
I don't let him down.
Cool. Yeah, you can stay. You're still not. You're not great by any means, right? You're still hurting, but you're able to walk.
He's not walking. I'm carrying him.
Yeah, we're telling you to walk it off.
As
he has no choice.
You did notice, because I'm going to assume that this is happening. This is a process, right? This is all happening as you're moving. You notice Ozzy, as you are on his back, as he's walking, as Lilith is pulling out the back walking in front of him with the chart, like which one are you feeling, and then comes around to heal you. As you're on his back, you feel like a little brush on your cheek, and you see this tiny little ball of vines that's peeking out of the backpack of Vanan's backpack, and it's just lightly correct, in a seemingly attempting to placate and make you feel better, but it's weird because it's vines, right? So
Also, I would assume that Bigby pops out and starts playing with John.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
John's the shit.
So
what's going on back there in my hood?
It seems our animal companions are making friends with each other.
I don't have any animals. I used to have an animal's named John. No, John's dead. So is John, and also John.
Right. What about John?
I mean, John is dead. But luckily, I found this new vine. There's a little ball of vines. He's really nice. His name is John.
Yeah. Technically, he's a plant companion. You want to get specific.
Yeah.
Plant companion.
You're right, Brittany?
I'm just thinking about my struggling orchids in my living room right now.
Oh, man. Igni is taking up the rear, just watching all this happen. There's way too much physical contact for her.
Yeah.
So since I'm not actually walking or doing anything, can I technically have a short rest since he's carrying me?
I mean, if you want him to, if he's gonna carry you for an hour,
I'll carry him for an hour.
All right, then sure.
You know
I'll
what?
give you.
I help you. We work in shifts between Vanan and.
All right,
Vanan. You carry him for 30 minutes, and then I'll carry him for 30 minutes, and we just kind of keep switching off.
I don't know if I want to share him.
Okay. All right.
Let me think about it for 15 minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Think about it while we walk.
Well, after an hour, I'm almost.
You just let me know. I'll be right here.
So basically, during this, Ozzy gets the benefits of a short rest. The rest of you.
Minutes later, Vanan decides that he no longer wants to carry Ozzy and just throws him at Lilith.
Do I get a reflex save?
You can catch him. He's I mean, Ozzy is like a twig, right? I mean,
I wrote down that I am
you just
5
lasso
foot 5
him over your head and
I am
fling
5
him
foot
up.
5 inches and 125 pounds.
Yeah, you're tiny.
yeah.
wow,
What's your strength, Lilith? Modifier, not the modifier, the score.
16.
Yeah, you can easily carry 240 pounds, and you can lift 480 pounds. So you're fine.
I twirl him on my finger like a basketball.
Yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, why not? If you want.
This is very uncomfortable. Please stop.
Someone, you sit there and you're like, maybe I shouldn't do this, considering I just literally patched his leg.
15 minutes after that, Vanan's like, all right, toss him back.
We just we're basically did you guys ever see The Room?
Yeah, yes.
Where they're tossing the football?
Oh, hi, Mar.
I'm a living football.
Nice puppy. Okay, so yeah, we keep tossing Ozzy back and forth. I'm sorry, Ozzy, but
Nope, it's great.
Ozzy's having a
I'm
moment.
learning
Everybody.
so much.
We're having a moment. Like
The important part is that Ozzy gets the short rest, which is the important
Yeah.
part.
Which is what he needs.
Yeah.
While they're playing hot potato,
Yes.
Ozzy, Igni would like to keep her eye on the road and looking out for anything that could, just walk up on us, like emaciated wolves and such.
As one does.
Yeah.
No, you're actually
I don't
you
know where
keep
that went.
a pretty vigilant eye as you guys move on, and you travel for about around 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll say. You guys can see this bridge, this great stone bridge that you've heard about. It's got this dwarven connotation to it, and you see it, and basically the path to Belliard goes over this bridge. So you walk across this bridge, and you can probably hit Belliard around lunchtime.
Can we check under the bridge?
You can. It's gonna.
Is there a way to peek under? I don't know how big this bridge is. Maybe that's a better question.
Can you see that?
Oh
no!
That is not what I pictured at all. That
Yeah.
is terrifying as fuck.
Uh-huh. Hope you're not
How
afraid
did
of.
they get up there? Are there steps?
Do you see right here? It curves down to the ground, and then it
Okay.
goes up
Fuck.
and up.
Who the fuck would make that?
Moradin,
Lilith.
the
That's
god.
Lilith.
Moradin, the god of creation of all the dwarves.
Lilith
Damn idiots, that's
hates
who.
this deity. Lilith is like, who the fuck? What kind of sick joke? What the
He doesn't
hell
know how to. He doesn't
is
know how to
this?
build bridges.
This is a joke.
He wouldn't know a bridge if it bit him in the ass.
No.
No, he would not. This is
No.
subpar.
He's like, a bridge? You mean that thing you walk through in a house? Nah, idiot, that's a door.
Yeah.
Okay.
This looks like a party streamer flapping in the breeze from one side of a canyon to the next.
Okay.
Are there
Yeah,
rooms?
guy,
and
bridges
things
aren't
along
party
the bridge?
streamers.
That's what. Yeah. Can we? What can we perceive as we get close to the inn? Like the. I don't know. Stepping
You don't
onto
have
it.
to crouch.
Yeah, if you guys get onto the bridge, you can see that even though this is presumably hundreds,
Chicken and-
if not thousands of years old, this is there is basically no damage to it. It seems to be in perfect condition. Again, it is 2 miles long, so you're crossing this thing for 2 miles. It is 400 feet up in the air above the river. It is the only way in this current area to cross the Desserin River. This is the way to do it, basically, is across this bridge. And basically, yeah, it'll remind you that the story was the dwarves of the Iron Star clan were fighting off hordes of orcs on this bridge. And the legend goes that Moradin himself appeared on the bridge to rally the dwarven forces to be able to squash the orc forces, and the dwarves were to win, and then the orcs didn't take over all of the Desserin Valley.
Is this
Okay.
common knowledge?
This is...
Dwarves
That's what what's his name shared with us, right?
Yeah.
You?
And you guys can all make... Actually, you know what?
Dwarves.
Because
Yes,
most
we
of you don't know, and Vanan hates dwarves. Ozzy can make me a history check. Actually, Lilith done some reading, right? In her time, she's a noble, right?
Yeah.
So you guys
Yeah,
can both make me history
Yeah.
checks.
Let's
So
put our heads together and see what we come up with.
sure.
24.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. So you basically working together can realize that let's see. That aside from that story, there was also a story of a dwarven king who supposedly died atop the bridge fighting a hill giant. And that was King Torhild Flametongue.
Torhill Flametongue. I haven't heard that name in 3,000 years.
I have never heard this name. Who is it?
3,000 years.
He is... Let's see.
Torhill.
So he fell fighting a hill giant?
Atop the bridge is the rumor, yeah.
Okay.
Or is this the legend? He was also the founder of Belsimer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll just go with. I guess. Bessilmer is how you are supposed to pronounce it, right? It's Besilmer is the he was the founder of that place.
Of what place?
Of Bessilmer. There we go. Besilmer.
Do you think
He was the founder of what?
Basilmer.
Basilmer.
Is it town?
Sorry, who
Oh,
was the
King Torhild
Torhild?
Flametongue, yes.
founder of Basilmer town? Okay.
It's an ancient there's not a lot known about it, but it's like supposedly an ancient dwarven stronghold somewhere in the Desserin Valley.
Okay. So while I'm thinking about this history check, Lilith, I'm looking around. I'm feeling so uncomfortable about crossing this bridge. Not because if I fall, I can sprout my little wings and
Except you did that
float my
once
ass.
already today. Oh, your wingwear. You
wingwear.
can do that, but you
I know
can't.
all of us have the opportunity, but that would be so unbelievable. So I'm gonna turn to you guys and be like, let's take a moment to gather our surroundings and peer off into the distance and heighten our perception. Because if we're about to cross this and we get knocked off for whatever reason and have to utilize our flight suits, that's gonna be so unbelievably inconvenient.
Did you?
I can cast Featherfall on all of us in case we do fall.
Well, regardless, thank you. That's great. I actually feel way better. I do feel I don't really trust these wingsuits, but if we fall, that's going to add so much time to getting back up here to Belliard.
This is true.
Are you asking us to look around?
Yeah, I want us to do
use our eyes?
We would like
to
to
look
investigate
at
the
stuff
area.
that's nearby.
Yes.
Do you want us to use our vision? Do you want us to perceive our surroundings?
Open your third eye.
Yeah, sure.
What are we rolling?
What are we doing?
I would like to perceive the general area to see if there's either.
Everybody can make me perception checks.
Yes, that's what I was asking. Can we make an intense perception check?
This is so intense. It's like camping.
That would be 21.
Ooh, gross. I did
15.
not roll that well.
21, 15. What did you get?
I rolled a 6.
6. You're so caught up in your speech about perception that you're not actually perceiving things. What did you get, Vanan?
15.
15. All right, yeah. You guys look around. You guys, focus. You guys, as she starts to talk about perceiving the surroundings, you basically all start to drift away and start looking at things as she continues to tell you how important perception is. Yeah. And yeah, you guys get a general look around the surroundings. You can see that it is the bridge is again to 2 miles long. The river itself underneath it is about 1.5 miles of that 2 miles. So you've got about a quarter of a mile on either side that dips down into the river itself. Yeah, you see birds flying around, seagulls and things, and birds flying under the bridge, all around diving. You see a couple hawks fly down or eagles fly down and grab fish and fly off, presumably to wherever their homes are in the woods nearby. And you can see off in the distance, pretty much basically at the end of your perception range, as it were, what seems to be the settlement of the town of Belliard. Right where you said it to be, and you don't see anybody on the bridge either, so there's no and you can even peer under the bridge too. There doesn't seem to be anything.
No trolls.
No trolls. I mean, maybe in the water, but not hanging out.
400 feet in the
400 feet.
There's nothing that's I'm like,
Okay.
well, let's go. Let's get this over with. I'm not.
Wait. We should take caution. You are right. The flying one is correct. I say we tie rope to waist. How big around is the bridge? Like, it's giant, isn't it? Like,
It
across,
is.
and it's 5 feet?
It is, what did I say, 6 paces? 6 paces wide and lacks railings. It's probably about 5 feet thick of solid granite. So about
Get
5
that
feet
rope
thick.
out. Let's get that rope out.
So Igny's going to loosely tie around the bridge, and then would like to tie to herself.
Okay.
So as she walks, if we fall, we can back up to the top.
All right,
Wow.
and
Rope, right?
and
While Igny's not paying attention, Vanon's going to tie himself to Igny.
Wait, we can each tie ourselves to the bridge and just like, because the rope, there's probably
I would rather be attached to Igny because I feel like if there's someone who's going to survive based off of
Not when
rope
you attach
tying.
to me.
I tie my pack.
I
around my
hold
rope
quite a
pack
bit of
around-
belief in your ability.
Okay. She goes, he is so clingy, but whatever makes you feel better. Are you joining Igny in the tying around the bridge, Lilith?
I'm gonna do it with my own rope, so
Cool.
I'm attached to my own rope.
I-
I take note of what you're doing, and I'm like, that's a good fucking idea.
I will say that for the sake of you guys will be intelligent enough to do this at the more part towards the lower on the land, rather than trying to do that on top of a bridge 400 feet up, trying to like swing the rope underneath and someone on the other side trying to loop and like grab the rope. Oh, well, hang on, let's tie something to it and we'll fling it around. And, that whole thing, which takes a ridiculous. You're just like, oh wait, we'll just do it on the ground.
On the ground.
And then we'll just kind of
Correct.
basically slightly on a 45 to eventually on like a flat 90 reverse like Mulan your way up the bridge as you move and pull the rope.
Yep.
And then you're at the 90 and you just kind of move yourself along. Sure.
Yeah, we can just keep dragging ourselves. That way, if we fall, we're solidly attached to the bridge at least.
Yeah, we have a harness now.
Correct.
All right.
Good idea. Good fucking idea.
So, you
Wolf
guys.
didn't want to tell you guys she was super nervous about all of that.
She's the most nervous because she can't use her wings until she takes a long rest.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not okay with that.
But yeah, you guys cross. It takes a while, as you know, and it's windy, right? Because you're 400 feet up, but it's not like a super windy day, so no one falls off.
Ugh.
There's no risk of that. But you also realize while you're up there, the bridge is solid, like with the wind whipping through and everything. You guys are buffeted a little bit, not too much because it's not crazy gusty, but the bridge is like it's made out of steel.
No.
It does not move. It is sturdy, does not move.
Wow. Okay.
This was created by a god, right?
That is it's a site where he supposedly appeared.
Okay.
But that also sort of goes along with it because people try to figure out how the dwarves built it.
Mm-hmm.
Because how do you go like this?
Like, I'm assuming, is it just like a solid sheet of granite,
like a
or
riddle.
It is
are
a-
there, like,
it is-
runes and like
It is
on it?
made of smooth fused hard granite.
Okay, so there's no like dwarven runes or anything carved into it, right?
No, it looks like there's just again I'm just going out. There's no wording about that, and
Okay.
just looking at the pictures, it seems to basically be anything. There's no ornamentation. Any of the structures in the stone is purely functional.
Cool.
So yeah, after about an hour or so, just taking caution, being safe, and slacking your ropes along, you guys make it to the other side.
Cool.
Now we
Uneventfully.
can't get the ropes undone. No, I'm just kidding.
And you're stuck to the bridge. So yeah, you're able to untie and salvage your ropes. Nobody fell off the bridge. Everything's great.
Awesome.
And you're now
Yeah.
a little bit a ways from the town of Belliard, and we can have you guys continue onward and make it to the town.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
To the town.
I feel like we're skipping. We're just like,
Yeah, made it. That's fan art if you ever want to.
There's a visual image for all of you.
All right, just this group skipping down the road to Belliard. All right, so you guys make your way to the town of Belliard. Kind of as was described to you a little bit, and kind of your kind of general inkling about the way the town was. It is a smaller town. It is a cute little village, and it is basically a joining of where people came, cattle ranchers and cattle drivers would bring their. This is essentially what this town was more of like, essentially like a cattle stop, if you will, like the equivalent of like what would have been like a truck stop that eventually worked its way into a town. It does have a lot of trees around it, and it is the kind of intersection of the stone trail which you just came down, and this is the Desserin Road, which is the other kind of one of the other main roads in the area. So this is like the joining point. So a lot of people do work their way through here. Let's see. You see there is a pond where people have their horses and oxen and things harnessed that they're drinking. There's a well in the center of town. And you see pretty much anything you would associate, shops for anything you would associate with cattle driving and ranching. So there's a tanner, a blacksmith, horse dealers, trainers, stables, and an inn, which you now can see. And again, as you recall, as you probably head there so you can get some lunch, this inn, you can see that this is an inn, just this way the structure is, and the toning of the wood by the rain and the weathering, is this is an inn that has been subsequently expanded several times to expand to match the needs of the town. This is the Watchful Knight, Knigt Knight.
Okay.
And you see that if you guys do you guys enter? Let me ask you that. If Brittany's not choking.
As long as Brittany, yeah, don't die on us. So the town is like bustling. There seems to be like people moving. It's just like an average day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing out of ordinary as far as you could guess.
Is anybody taking a particular interest in us in any way? Like, are people looking?
I mean, they look to see you. You're a motley crew.
Just average.
But, it's not...
Motley crew.
We're not drawing extreme attention to ourselves, I guess.
No.
Okay.
I mean, probably more than anybody would be you with your weird... You got your face veil whole thing going on.
It's not weird. It's cool.
It is cool.
Cool.
But it is...
But it does draw attention. Well, she's got her cloak up too, so
okay, all right. Then you're good. You're good.
I say I could use rest, right? Put feet up, get a drink. Who's in for a little sit down?
Very much.
All of us were just like, yeah, I want a bed, I want a beer. Lilith is like, I need a drink.
Yeah. I would like to go right on into the inn.
Okay. You head into the inn, and you can see there is there's a bar there. They do serve food, and you see basically a platform that stands empty, a little bit of a raised platform, that has two worn in ingrained, basically large mailed boot prints in it.
Oh.
And you recall that the story went that there used to be a large inanimated helmed horror that used to sit here, which is what gave it its name, the Watchful Knight. And then at one day it just got up and walked away.
By helmed horror, you mean like the
Does...
the spirit?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So
Like
just
that
the
guy.
armor match. Oh, wow.
Animated
And just the
horror.
boots are left?
No, just the boot where the boots were.
Just print.
Yeah, the story goes that basically one day, it just vanished, and the innkeeper vanished. The innkeeper at the time vanished shortly after. So
And nobody looked into that? That was just like a thing that happened. Everybody was like, "Well,
yeah, it's sort of like the thing that like. It's like a Sasquatch, right? It's like a local legend now. Like, so now people are like, oh, like it just disappeared. Oh, somebody stole it. Did you hear? And then somebody else is like, no, it walked away. I saw it. And like the kids all talk about like, yeah, it walked out of town. I woke up one night when I was sleeping and like I saw it walk. And it's one of those things where like
Yeah.
who knows
How
what
long
really
has it been
happened.
since it just up and walked out?
Several years ago.
Okay.
But the name has stuck, and it's sort of like they didn't take down like the little kind of platform where it stood on, as it's sort of now it's a new talking piece rather than a piece of armor that's like supposed to be this cool thing that they could
Right.
point to. Now it's like, well, it's not here anymore, and now that's the new thing to draw people in. Is we used to have one, and now it's gone.
It's just
like, come stand in its footprints.
Exactly right.
Igni does that. She walks up and puts her feet right in just to see how much bigger
They
they
are significantly bigger than Igni's petite, roguish feet. So yeah, as you were walking your way into the town, you do see that again. It is what you anticipate the fare of people are, these kind of ranchers. But you do see some folks that don't seem to be as if they were ranchers, but do seem to be more hardened, muscular folk with, larger muscles, or perhaps the body of a warrior that has since, I guess, let themselves go, if you will.
Sure. And there are a few of these around. They're just hanging out.
There's a handful here and there.
Are they just like sitting at the tables like the mercenaries you Skyrim? They're just like need an armed blade.
Sure,
They
yeah,
take a
it's
sip of their
actually
tankard.
several people from bodyguards, mercenaries, and former
Okay.
Waterdeep soldiers basically have retired here as like a nice country place to retire, but like maybe they can make a buck escorting somebody somewhere,
Yeah,
as it's
they
not.
still know how to swing their blades.
Yeah,
Can Igni keep a keen ear out for like interesting conversation? Just kind of like eavesdrop around to see if there's anything she should be picking up on.
sure.
Picking up what they're putting down.
Yes, Brittany.
Lilith has, because of our campfire moments of learning how to read, Lilith is able to pick up on like what you're doing, and she's like, oh, we're gonna play it cool. So I strike up like intentionally some stupid conversation about the weather next to like the person I'm sitting with, so that Igni can canvas the joint.
Sure. Oh, we're just sorry. We're having a little giggle here.
Sorry.
Hey, sunshine.
Oh, good morning.
It's still noon.
I'm awake.
Yep, sure you are, bud.
He's in it to win it.
I'm awake. Here I am.
So Igni walks up to the bar. I'm guessing there's like a bartender
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
the counter. Okay. And she says, my team is tired. We need to rest our feet, refuel, get some food. What do you need? You need gold coin? We have gold coin.
We have gold coin.
Says to have a sleeper. He needs a chair fast.
Yeah, he says,
He needs a chair.
he says, coin is the typical form of payment. So yeah, that would work.
We have coin. How about drinks, lunch, comfy chair?
Because yeah, do you want a room for the night or just for a couple hours? You want just a spot to sit?
I turn around and look at you guys.
I think we might need a room for. Maybe let's just go ahead and get 2 nights.
Talk to me about your payment plan. You got like a weekly
got 2
type
nights?
thing. You
Yeah,
got like
yeah.
a 2-night deal.
Is it residential hotel? You like a certain amount.
He goes, yeah, it's like an extended stay. There's a kitchen in the room. No.
Is there like a
That's a
pet
nice
clause
one.
that we need to be worried about? We've got a plant.
So he will tell you that it will be. It's a gold a night per person for room.
Per person?
Well, if your guys are sharing a room, yes.
Yeah,
Well, okay.
probably. I'm down.
Then
Yep.
Can we all get in one room?
You
Then
guys
it-
want to do this the cheap way or the comfortable way?
Vanan sleeps naked.
I don't sleep, so it don't really matter to me.
Oh yeah, Vanan meditates naked.
I mean, all I have to do is sleep on my side facing the wall, and it's fine.
Is there a desk in the room? Because if so, I'll probably.
Oh, I'm sorry, I read the wrong thing. It is I was reading the wrong thing. So it is yeah, it is 5 my mistake. 5 silver pieces per night. This is a single night's lodging. That's per room, correct.
Yeah.
I'll take 5 silver pieces.
Does this include our food, or is that separate?
That is just the in-stay.
I juggle the silver pieces, and then I throw them in them.
Considering we have 239 silver, I think we can.
Amy's a penny pincher, man. She's out trying to gain money.
We can at least get 2 rooms, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you get 2 rooms, that's 1 gold piece. So we can,
fine.
or 10 silver pieces.
We can do that.
We can do that. I turn to Igni and I'm like,
okay. She says we get 2.
Oh, actually, we have way more than that.
Yeah.
We do. We have a butt ton of cash.
So then a modest meal, right? So like that's 3 silver pieces. This is a modest stay place, so a modest meal. You can get like a decent meal, full meal for 3 silver pieces.
Lilith turns and looks at him and like gives out whatever money it needs to cover everybody's meals for the duration of our stay.
Okay.
She just puts the money down and just like meals for everyone.
Does anybody have dietary restrictions that I should know
Oh my
about?
god.
I'm allergic to
That is actually a good question. Igni takes care of her body. That's like her #1 weapon, right? So she says, just good. You need good quality. Just good quality.
So he's like, well, basically what I meant is like, does everybody eat
Don't
meat?
know how to articulate exactly what it is, but check this.
Sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
All right.
Lilith is like,
As long as it's not the dog, we'll be fine.
He looks at you weird.
no
He's
meow
like,
meat here.
Yeah, all right.
Well.
So he will basically, let's say that's 4 of you and 2 rooms, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want wine?
Yeah, duh, yes.
Or
What
did
kind
you
of question
want-
is that?
Or
I
did
want
you
a lot
want
of wine.
or did you want ale?
I mean, can you get
Both?
a package where it includes
We'd
both?
like a little of both, please.
Yeah, both. One of each.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
So
please.
he will give you a pitcher of wine.
Okay.
Because that's what the player's handbook says.
There's
Cody cake?
I
Barrel.
drink my wine.
There is a pitcher of wine or a fine bottle of wine. The difference is exorbitant.
Pitcher.
Pitcher.
Yeah. 2 silver versus 10 gold.
How much is the bottle
No.
of wine?
Bottle is 10 gold. Pitcher is 2
Okay.
silver.
No.
we'll take
How about we get
Ozzy.
2 pitchers?
Ozzy, you're on your own. Yeah, 2 pitchers?
2
Yeah,
pitchers of wine, 2 pitchers of
Alright.
ale. We'll take both.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So he will say, whole thing, all told, let's go 2 gold, 5 silver, 2 rooms, 4 meals, 2 pitchers of wine, 2 pitchers of ale.
All of that costs how much?
2 gold, 5 silver.
Done.
Lilith wants to pay for all of it.
Done. We'll make note of it.
Lilith, just before anybody can hand anything over, she's just like, I got this! And like... Yeah, so there you go.
Alright, so you guys get all of that. You got your rooms. You have your food as well. You guys are all good to go. And yeah, is there anything... I mean, so you guys were just listening, or at least a couple of you were just listening in to try to...
Yeah, catch some conversations of importance.
Sure, make me perception checks, those that were attempting to...
I would say that I would probably be sitting down, probably taking a closer look at the Dwarven transcript that I had, and just be flipping through that. And now that I can actually sit down and look at it,
Sure.
Oh yeah, I want to look through my book too. You gave me a book.
I did give you a book. You're right.
Like a godly book.
I did. All right. There's lots of books.
Mm-hmm.
All the books.
I can't read.
I'm happy to do that, like, from now, also, when I get into my room. That's basically what I want to do.
Hey, do you want me to teach you how to read? Not you, Lilith. But,
We're working on it. I'm figuring it out. The one thing Igni also can't do is she's not tapped into her elvish power. She can't cast any of her drow magic.
Does she know that she has that?
Nope.
Yeah.
She has no clue.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much.
She ought to read it in a book and be like, "The fuck."
You know your ABCs? Do you know the first one?
No.
Would we know that? Would we know that about drow?
Would Ozzy have read that about Drow?
Let's see. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, you can make me history checks. There's a fair amount of tumultuous drow activity in the Sword Coast.
I don't know. I rolled a 14.
22.
Yeah, so you guys are well aware of not that long ago, actually, like, I don't know, less than 50 years ago, the drow assaulted the north with the help of orcs and were fought back by dwarves. There's a whole... The drow kind of... They darkened the sky for a little while. They basically blotted out the sun in part of the Sword Coast so that they could come out to the surface. They employed the use of 2 great white dragons, one of which was slain by 2 copper dragon twin sister dragons. It's a whole big thing. Also, Drizzt is a thing, so you guys know of him because you're in the realm. So there's... Yeah, so, yeah, you guys... The book learned and the ones who have been on the surface and around to really know things, not sequestered in caravans, I guess,
So
would know.
Like, you can cast a magic, girl.
Yeah. Because
Ozzy, that's... I'm teaching Igni how to read. You teach Igni.
I can teach you how to tap into her magical ability. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's definitely some magical ability that you have. I can help you learn it.
I don't do magic. I'm not magic.
I can show you. It's very easy.
You show me. Yes, you do magic. I don't do magic.
How can I explain this?
So I'm gonna assume that this happens over the food, which was
Yeah.
going. So like Ozzy gets to like you read for a little bit before you now have a new mission.
Yeah.
But you can go ahead and make me an intelligence check as you're flipping through this book to see how much you're able to glean from it before you get like a new project.
I'm sending my good luck vibes.
21.
All right. This, as you flip through this, seems to be a genealogical history of the dwarven clans of Mirabar.
Those bastards.
Yeah, that's basically... The more you flip through it, you get the feeling that that's probably this whole book. Is just, the history of all these dwarves. And you can see that some go pretty far back, some are more recent, and then some, you can see, like, the line ends, essentially, at certain points.
Okay.
But yeah, then you kind of hear this whole story about how Igni might have magic, and, well, basically, the party... So far, we haven't come up with a... I mean, Vanan offered also to help her read, but so far, we got someone offering to teach her magic, someone offering to teach her how to read. Basically, this is like...
The Igni pity party.
Yeah, I was going to say, Project Igni.
No!
You guys are...
It's not a pity party.
No, Lilith's also my teacher as well.
I guess that's true. She teach others.
Yeah, we're just excited to share. We're like, oh, like if you find like a secret level in a video game, you want your friends that secret level too.
That's true. Well, you have to understand, nobody's ever shared anything with Igni. The idea of sharing is not really like a concept
thing?
she probably understands.
Would you have to roll an insight check to see if we're trying to fuck with you or if we're genuinely excited to share this knowledge?
I am not asleep. I'm awake.
That was from before. I will, as far as Igni is concerned, that is fully up to you, Chelsea, as the player, whether you believe the party or want to leave it up to a roll. That's fully on you. I'm not going to force you to make the roll.
Yeah.
If you believe them, you believe them. No roll needed.
I mean,
Well,
Ozzy's never lied a day in his life, so.
Yes, but she'll definitely. She doesn't think Lilith's lying. But
Okay.
she would probably think, just out of complete misunderstanding, that Ozzy is attempting to like fuck with her a little bit, like pull her leg. She's like, I don't do magic. I am not magic. You know, she's like, I don't get it.
Okay, sure.
But I don't think she thinks he's necessarily lying to her. She just doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, she'll definitely trust Lilith. I mean, she's followed her this far for good reason.
Yeah, Lilith's no nonsense. She's like, you need to know how to read.
Vanan's like, I can teach you something very valuable.
Oh, please do enlighten me.
We're all tuned into this. I'm like, I want to know about nature.
I can teach you the nuance of dance.
Wait, I missed that last part.
The nuance of dance.
I know. I am nuance of that.
She's a dancer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we don't have a
Vanan
dance
extends
off.
his arm like this. Like,
Oh shit, are we having a dance off? Iggy's down.
who's dancing?
Just
you wanna
dancing.
dance with me?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to dance? Oh.
Oh,
She
as
doesn't
you
know
as
I
you
said
reach
that.
out your hand, you see the sleepy, portly gnome in the corner, like pokes up like the corner of like his little bowler hat, and sees this, and like he hops up, seemingly never having the ability to really need to use this, and hops up onto his feet and pulls out like a fiddle from behind his chair, and like he looks at you, Vanan, and like bow at the ready.
And I'm like, kick it.
All right, and then he will just start like the fiddle music just starts going as I guess you two start dancing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
Iggy
I
would
definitely
like
need to make a
actually,
roll
Iggy-
20 for music for
I
sure.
was about to say, well, and Iggy would like to take lead, so she would like to roll against. Yeah.
All right.
I'll
Oh,
roll
shit.
against-
She's gonna take
situation.
Oh,
I don't even know what to roll for that, other than performance.
performance.
Yeah, I guess.
Persuasion.
Sure.
JK.
So that's a 21, my good sir.
I got a 20. Hold on. Do I have performance? I got a 21 as well.
Oh shit!
It is a dance off.
It is. You guys are dancing, and there's that moment when you're dancing with someone, and you're like, "All right, they don't really know. They're pretty good, but like, I'm gonna take the lead." But you both have that moment, so like, you're both sort of like trying to fight for the lead, but you don't want like, but you both respect each other's dancing chops, so you don't want to like ruin the moment by like tumbling, screwing it up. So you're both dancing, and you're like, I want to lead, but I don't want to. This is actually going pretty well. How do we? So basically, for all intents and purposes, this goes on for a little bit. You know, in D&D terms, like for a round, essentially. You guys are dancing, not wanting to interrupt, and if you want to, again, you can make another set of performance checks to see who kind of gets the lead position.
Igni leans in and goes, "Go grab Lilith," and pushes you her direction to go grab her and pull her to the dance floor, and Igni turns around and grabs Ozzy.
I do so.
All right,
I
you
grab
got
Lilith and I spin her out onto the dance floor.
Yeah, I grab
Lilith.
Ozzy
Do
because
you
it's like-
allow this to happen?
I
Yes.
probably would not have seen it coming because I was actually sketching them dancing.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, she picks you up to bring you out.
Oh god!
Lilith is surprisingly open. You know what? Actually, Lilith has probably had dancing lessons.
Sure, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
Being a
Historically,
noble, she's
Yeah.
probably been, but I don't know what kind of dancing you guys are doing. She would know whatever was in vogue at court.
I imagine
I
they.
feel like it's like the scene in Titanic where it's like the rich dancing at the top, and then you go
Yeah.
below deck and you see
He's like,
them all dancing.
The
like,
Irish
rug.
jig. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, Vanan and Igni are
Mysteriously.
dancing for all intents and purposes, like commoner dancing that's fun and is a fluid motion. Everybody's having a good time. And Lilith is a lot more used to, like, the bodiced, like, ballroom dancing kind of situation.
Yes, the formulaic.
Mysteriously, Vanan knows how to waltz.
All right.
Do we start do we start waltzing?
Do you start waltzing?
Do
We
start
waltz
waltzing?
hardcore. We're waltzing.
Oh shit, Lilith is down, and you guys. Are you surprised to see Lilith cut a rug?
I mean, I am, as the DM, so sure.
Oh, Vanan is very pleased.
Not to be surprised with us.
Lilith looks up to see Vanan's face and just...
Do I need to roll a swab check?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, I want to see how suave, like, Lilith is like, I'm down to fucking dance.
We'll make it a charisma check.
Okay, that's not horrible. That's, 15?
+1, because your blessing is a 16.
No, 15 with the +1.
Oh, but did you add, and that was with your charisma mod too?
Yeah, my charisma modifier is 3.
Ah, okay.
I rolled an 11.
Gotcha. Sure.
Plus my 1 is 15.
It's still pretty good. I mean, it's hard to... Also, let's not forget that you're waltzing in chainmail. Right? I mean, you're not waltzing in a dress. You're waltzing in probably 30 pounds of armor.
Yeah.
With a sword and a shield, probably, as well. Like, this is... And, like, I'm assuming you guys took off, like, your packs, like, your backpacks.
Yeah.
But, like... Yeah.
Still.
This is still an impressive, suave as someone can be in chainmail. And what are the heights, by the way? How tall is Vanan versus how tall is Lilith, so we get an idea of...
I'm 6 foot.
Vanan is 5'11".
Okay, so you guys, all right. So then you're well matched though as far as height goes.
For looks up a little bit and it's just. This is great.
You know the like closed mouth, just like.
Yep, exactly. So I'm gonna put a pin in that for a second. Let's go back to Ozzy and Igni.
So I assume Igni's leading, and she would like to spin him and give him a big old dip. She's gonna dip him.
All right, Ozzy, how tall? Ozzy's 5'5".
Yeah, I'm 5'5".
How tall is Igni?
I think she's about the same. She's only. I think I said she's only 5'6". 5'6".
All right, so these are very. The girls are taller than the guys in both of these scenarios.
That's really funny.
So yeah, go ahead and make me a performance check, Igni.
Oh, on the dip.
Yeah, just in general, because I feel like knowing what I know about Ozzy. Go ahead. What do you get? Yeah, basically. I mean, the way I imagine it is you know how, like, when someone is much taller and they're dancing with a much shorter person, they're sort of more or less, they're moving them almost as if a doll? Because I imagine that Ozzy has not spent a lot of time dancing in his...
No, he has not learned the delicate art of the dance.
So basically, you are just, with her 24, you are just clay in the hands that is Igni the dancer. As she's I want to say, as she's dancing around, at some point when I like get back on my feet, I go, wait, hold on a second, and I run over towards my bag and I pull out something from my bag and I activate it, and there is now a blue light hovering above our heads as we're dancing. As I activate the drift globe. Yeah, there you go.
It's getting
so
serious.
now we have like dramatic light
and
emanating over us as we dance.
Yeah. So you guys are now in. This poor gnome is so torn because you guys are dancing, however, in Igni's style of dancing with a blue light over you, and the other two are waltzing, and he's trying to figure out where is the combo on the violin/fiddle of a music that fits.
Is it not a 6/8 time signature or 3/4?
Vanan switches from the waltz and starts leading Lilith into tango.
Oh, damn.
A tango?
Yeah.
Stepping it
I
up.
don't know if she knows how to tango.
Oh, she doesn't. I'm leading hardcore.
All right, let's
Lilith is not one to be led. It's probably very hard because she's like,
Oh, you haven't seen Vanan tango.
Well, let's get a performance check from Vanan first of all to see for
I'm
his
down. I'm down with that.
for his tango.
Do it.
15.
All right, it's pretty solid overall. Just I mean, the tango is a difficult dance in general, especially if somebody doesn't know how to do it. But I'm gonna leave. This is so to Lilith. Are you gonna go along with this? What's your
Looking to Vanon's big puppy dog eyes.
look down
Are you
into
doing
them,
this
slightly
as
down.
in the midst of a dip?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Just like
It's
a dip, and then she like looks at him, and he's just like so happy and just like,
I'm so stoked to be dancing. She's like, well, I can't take this moment away from him, so I guess I'll figure out how to go along with it. If she's able to do ballroom dancing, she's probably able to follow.
Yeah, the tango it's formulaic, right? I mean, it's
She'll probably figure it out. So yeah, she's like, okay, like this is new.
This is a lot of fun.
As this goes on, you notice that other people in the bar will start to get up and dance as well. You know,
Oh
like
awesome!
an old couple will get up and they'll kind of do their little old couple dance. And there's like a handful of people will get up, and then
This is the best.
you'll see somebody else.
Community building.
One of the like the guys that look like the mercenaries will look to the gnome and will pull out a lute, and he'll get up and join. So now you've got like a little bit of a band going now.
Oh, tiny band.
This is like a
You got a
it's
fiddle
like
and a
dope
lute.
impromptu party.
Yeah, you guys, and like you notice that like people are going, and like you see more people as this is going on. People are going up and they're buying more drinks, and people are, and like you see like the bartender is just like he's loving this. You're really just
Down.
and like
Is it transpire into like solo dance routine? You know, in like the Disney's like animated Robin Hood when after they like escape Prince John and they're like dancing in the woods and shit. Like, I'm thinking of that kind of music.
It is that, and it is pretty much almost. I'm not gonna say it's exactly like that scene, but you guys are very different than the fare of people that are here. There's a different. It is a general smattering of people dancing different styles. Yeah, all around. Joy is had. You have brought a unexpected amount of happiness and joy to the folks of Belliard here in the Watchful Night. Needless to say, hearing interesting conversation has gone out the window as focused on the dance.
But we might have gained their trust.
That is true. So, what would you guys... How long would you guys like to dance for? Would you like to... Is it... You guys are going to keep going? Or are you going to go for one or two dances? Or are you going to do that whole, like, go until it sort of feels right to stop? You know, like, where it sort of peters out, you know?
We're enjoying ourselves, right?
All night.
All night long. Yeah, so Iggy finishes up her dance kind of with Ozzy, you know, like ends in some kind of flourish and says, "You may teach me to read, but I will teach you to dance." And says, "I am tired and thirsty. I'd like to sit, yeah?" And she goes over to the table and starts like, just look, we got like what, 4 pitchers now? Yeah, she's gonna have her way with some alcohol. We're in like, this is Iggy's prime, like dance party. This is yeah.
You're used to this. That's like, that was your background, right?
Yeah. Learn to drink with Mm-hmm.
Can I just be Iggy's hype man?
Yeah, man.
Just like when she's like checking it, be like, "Oh, y'all seeing this? Go!"
Yeah.
She just busted a move on the dance floor, and y'all were like, "Oh shit!" And now she's drinking wine, and y'all like, "Oh shit!"
Encouraging this. I love how we're supposed to be saving people. I feel like we're inquiring about things and we're drinking and dancing.
I mean, this is a way to butter up our audience, right?
This
like,
is true. Get them to trust us.
Yeah.
It's also a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is also true.
Yeah, basically, you will see Iggy, due to your moves on the floor and Vanon's hyping, another pitcher slides your way from someone off in the crowd, slides a pitcher your way.
I look at them and I go, "Now that is magic."
Oh, what? Just hear what she just said. Bennett dives out the window. It's too much for him. It's too much for him.
And then you hear like a oh as you jump out the people are it's turning into a raucous party in here.
And then he comes running back into the inn, arms over his head.
Oh man, this just got out of control. Okay.
Yeah, so this continues on for a while, right? This was lunchtime, mind you. You got here at like noon.
Oh, I don't know why I thought this was dinner time.
Nope.
I knew it was lunch too. I'm a bad influence.
Nope. Remember, you crossed the bridge and you got there right about at lunchtime.
Oh man, I thought we were way not at lunchtime.
No,
but that's fine. We're cutting a rug. We're getting rowdy. Fine.
This is
party early.
Midday libations, liquid lunch.
Yes. So this goes on for the better part of the afternoon into like the sun goes down, and you see that the gnome and the mercenary are like they are tired. They've been nonstop fiddle and lute playing for like 4 to 5 hours. These dudes need a break.
Yeah,
because it's not like a set, right? It's just like people just keep going. Yeah.
Wow.
Can I flick gold coins like this at both of them? Like what's up, buds?
Yeah, man. They will definitely take those.
Drinks regularly.
Yeah, sure. All right, they
giving them drinks, and that's a lively party.
You can see that these are, perhaps in the well, maybe not so much the gnome. This seems to be more or less like his livelihood, and the mercenary seems to be someone who. This might not have been his primetime passion, but the guy has built up an endurance to keep going. Probably more in fighting, less in looting, but seems to be doing okay. And you can see that these guys because again, this isn't like a dance or anything planned. People are just going. If they stop, the party dies. So they don't want to be those guys,
right? So
they just keep going. Till to the point where there are blisters, there are calluses, there is they are exhausted, they're sweating, things have gotten crazy. But yeah, till about dinner time where they're we need food.
Yeah.
We gotta take a break.
So Igni sees this the dip in the party as a prime opportunity to start siphoning for information.
Okay, so
he's on a high note,
Yeah. So the bartender, he loves you guys. He is just super stoked because you guys just drove so much business, more business than he's had in a while. And he's just like, are you guys is this gonna be are you gonna be here a lot? Because if you this would be great. This was fantastic.
Well, you see, that depends. We are here looking. What are we looking for? Where's my note taker? Chop note taker. What are we doing here? We had heard there was a caravan that passed through. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for the caravan that
did it pass through here? Yeah, it didn't make it from here.
The caravan came from here.
It's trying to go to about. Yeah.
About 10 days ago, there was caravan stop in this town. It was my family, and I am looking for them. She's gonna try to
deception.
I don't know. Yeah, just deceive him into believing that they're looking for somebody that they know.
Sure.
Oh, but she didn't roll. Okay, so that was an 8.
So he looks at you. He looks at you, and his eyes he narrows his eyes a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Listen, you guys gave me more business. I don't care. You can lie to me all you want. Whatever, it's fine. I'll tell you what I know." He says, you can lie. I could tell. They're mostly dwarves. I highly doubt it's your family. You don't look like a dwarf.
You don't know me.
And he says, "That's true, but you just gave me more business in one 4 or 5 hour stint than I've had in about 2 months. So we're friends. Um,
I take that. Okay.
so
Yeah.
he says, yeah, those the lead. I spoke with the leaders of this delegation. They had they came in here and they planned to head south on the Desserin Road that leads south out of the city here. Their plan was to visit Summit Hall to return the body of some knight. Slain. The knight was supposedly slain somewhere up north. This wasn't. I don't gather this was their main purpose, but this is something they were gonna do.
Do we know where this Summit Hall is located? That's the one in.
That is further south, and yes, you do, because Lilith is extremely
Is this
familiar.
the night of Samovar?
Yep.
Okay. And she's like, her eyes widen as that information is stated. She's like, this is a fallen brother of mine, or sister. It's actually my interest in finding where this fallen knight is.
He says, yeah, it's he says it's about 4, 8, 12. It's about 20 miles south of here.
20 miles.
Wow. That's miles.
That is. Okay.
Do you,
It's a couple of them.
innkeeper,
Yes.
do you have horses available or know of a citizen within this fine town who might have mounts
Steed?
for us?
He goes, yeah. I mean, we're a fairly cattle-rich town. If you need horses, there are tons of different places you could gather, get horses from. If you're looking for anything specific, or just
We're
like
looking to steal a horse. I mean, we're looking to
That
buy a
is not
horse with
true.
real
That is
money.
right,
lie.
just you need like draft horses, riding horses. Do you have a specific?
Just
Speed is of the essence.
Riding
Yeah.
horses are fine.
Form of
Yeah,
transportation.
Now, I do have a question.
yeah,
Along this 20-mile road,
yes.
is there anything in between here and there that might, I don't know, keep them from making it?
He goes, it's travel through the Somber Hills. You guys know how dangerous that could be, I'm sure.
There are lots of families.
Yeah, those are weird. There's some weird monks or something up there. What's that about? These guys were weird.
And he
There are
goes,
monks.
oh, you mean?
Oh, yes.
He goes, I don't really know too much about that personally, but I've heard some people. Oh wait, actually, you did ask. You mean the people? That spirey thing, right? Is that what you're
Yeah, I was
talking
gonna
about?
ask
Yes,
if you
with
could
the
tell us about that
birds.
spire.
He goes, yeah. You might want to talk to the town master. He, I think he might know some more about that.
Oh, townmaster.
And where might we find this
And he'll
master?
just kind of like you go outside, you make a right, 2 lefts, and you're there.
Right.
It's not a big town.
Check.
Where might we find this master of towns?
That is, he just right
Right
around
there,
to
right,
the
2
right,
lefts.
right.
Yeah.
Check. Okay. So,
He goes, you may
Um,
want to ask around. I'm sure I'm not the only one who spoke with these folks. Some other people
this
may
is
know, and he'll
cool.
point over to one of the girls, like the serving waitresses, and she goes, well, she waited on them when they were here. She might know something.
Oh, okay. And I have a legit. Okay, so did they actually? Was the body like here to start, or was it brought from somewhere else to this point?
They brought it. They had the body with them. Then the story goes that the knight was slain somewhere in the north,
Oh,
and they were
okay.
bringing him to inter him with his his
Okay.
order.
Okay.
That wasn't their main purpose. That was just sort of a thing that they were doing as a service to him on the way.
To him along the way. Okay, so
Correct.
this is just they were just passing through this town,
Correct. Belliard wasn't the. Yeah, they left Mirabar in the north,
right?
which is where they're
Right.
from. They are a Mirabar delegation, and they were heading south to. They were going to head through Red Larch to go further south to go
Right.
to potentially to go to Waterdeep.
Okay, yeah.
Because they were going to go to Belliard, south to Summit Hall to drop off the body. Then they were going to go to Red Larch because Red Larch is on the long road, which is the main
Right.
pathway along the Sword Coast, and then take
Right.
that down to Waterdeep because that's the best traveled path.
Okay.
Do I need to do like a history check with Summit Hall to see like why they would? Do I know why they would be wanting to drop his body off at Summit Hall?
Yeah, I can give you some information. So, being a knight of Samalar, which is what this guy was, the Summit Hall is a monastery, a fortified monastery of the Knights of Samalar. You are probably familiar with, because we haven't really talked too much about this, but this is also like a training facility for. Okay. So you probably have been there and are known there, I would guess, having been a member of it. So the story. Basically,
well, I have that sweet background perk where I get, it's called, where is it? Knightly Regard?
Yeah. That would totally work within, I mean, it would work around here as people who are familiar, but there for sure, because you are, I mean, it was founded by, a paladin of Tyr,
oh, hey, that's what you are.
Yeah, he founded the order and the monastery. And you know that the current leader is Lady Stormbanner. You would know this, Lilith. That is, she's the current leader of Summit Hall. Okay. But yeah, this is where they train, where veterans will train novices and instruct them in the moral rule of the knights, which is, you know, an extensive code, you know, a knightly code. In this situation, a knight shall do X. In that situation, a knight shall do Y, kind of
like
thing.
Chivalry, like
pretty much, yeah. The tenets of a knight and specifically a knight of Tyr. You also know that it's pretty much self-sufficient. They grow everything themselves. Yeah, and they are all fully staffed, fully armed, and ready for battle in case anything were ever to assault the hall. They're ready to go.
What was the name of the lady in charge?
Lady Stormbanner.
Okay. Is she human?
She is.
Okay. And I've known this. Like, it's just like something like, oh yeah, it was one place.
Correct. Yeah, you are. Cool. You probably. I mean, if you haven't been there, if you trained elsewhere, you are at least quite familiar with it. If you haven't been there personally.
Cool. It's like a main training facility. Cool. So, I share this information. I'm like, oh, I know this place. I know the person there. Like, we could get there, and I would provide shelter and succor. Says succor.
Yes. Not yes. The spelling is a significant.
Succor.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah, no. I know what you mean. Yeah, but he will point you to one of his waitresses and say, yeah, and they'll point to her and say, Senya over there, she waited on them when they were here. I don't know if she gathered any other information or talked to them or anything more than I did, but I gave you all I know.
You guys want to talk to Senya?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so you guys go and talk with her, and she's also excited because her apron is overflowing with tips.
I'm like, can I slide up next to her and be like, yo, dope party, right? Anyways. Anyways, you know anything about this stuff here?
And she'll be like, and she's just like, well, first of all, let me just say thank you because, wow, I mean, I like do okay on tips, but like there was so much drinking, and then like there were so many tips because people were drinking, and then they just kept giving me tips. So, hey, I mean, I'm all for it. But yeah, that stuff you were talking about, she says, well, I didn't talk to them too much outside of just, you know, small talk, but I did notice there was a strange person here watching them the whole time they were here.
You're talking about... if you're talking about Ozzy, that's just what he did.
No, this is when they were here.
Strange person. You mean like they were a person, not a part of their person? Like, on the other
correct.
side
There
of the
was
bar.
a strange person in kind of monk like robes with a gold mask.
Yeah, that's still just Ozzy. Ozzy's chilled out.
Ozzy's like trying very hard to be like more self-conscious of like where he is and what he's doing now, to like not be awkward, but even more awkward than it already is.
I look at Senya and I'm
I
like,
don't know where to put my hands.
is this monk still
How
in
do I
the
be
town?
cool?
Do you know?
How do I talk with my hands?
He left like a few hours before the delegation. They left, and no one's seen him since. But he was observing them while they were here, and then he left, and they left shortly after, and no one's seen him back in the town.
Did he go the same direction?
I don't know. I was here. He left because I was working.
Right.
You said that was a monk in golden robes, right?
And a golden mask.
Golden mask.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Does that sound familiar at all?
It sounds like something you would do, Ozzy, but I mean, you're here.
I don't wear
It's
masks.
you.
I do.
Sure
I
you
do.
don't.
What do I know about masks?
I look
They-
at you guys and I'm like, maybe we should just keep an eye out for this monk with a gold mask. I know you
guys.
probably like get this, but I really want to go to Summit Hall.
Yes, we should talk to town master first, yeah?
Yeah.
Before we leave town. And then go? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, guys.
I
let's
mean, we
keep
have
an
a
eye
room
out.
for the night. And continental breakfast.
2 nights.
2 nights.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and she'll tell you. The only other thing is there's let's see. Oh, and she kind of like points over to like a gristled old, tanned, wrinkled skin man who seems to have seen the wear of the road for many, many years, and he is kind of laughing with his friends at a table. And she goes, "Earl over there. He said he met those guys at some point, not that long ago. He encountered them heading south. He was coming up north here. He said." He talked about meeting them or something, so he might give you some more information.
Oh. What kind of man is this one? Is he like a booze type? Like, can I buy him a drink? Should I smooth him?
I mean,
he's laughing with friends. He's probably nice.
Yeah, he's a generally nice guy. He's, kindly, caravan cattle driver guy. So yeah, I mean, they all drink, so sure.
Okay.
Let's we pick up our beers and like goot
The
down
whole,
a little
all the
bit.
pictures, yeah, what's left of them.
Sure.
We keep relocating.
Can I accuse him of leaving me at the altar?
Who?
What altar?
What?
As if we were engaged to be married and he left me at the altar.
You're accusing who of this?
Earl? Yes.
The poor man who travels the road by himself?
Yes.
You can, yeah, of course, if that's what you want to do.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't think that's a very good idea.
Sometimes I feel like
Well,
you just throw ideas at me to see if I won't let you do them, and then if I won't let you do them, you'll really want to. But the fact that I'm just like, sure, you're like, oh no, I don't want to do that.
Fuck it.
Well, I was trying to think of a way to work it in, but I don't think there is.
Well, you
An
keep,
engagement?
But if you said no, then I'd really want to do it because I'd want to see how.
well, you know what? You hold on to that, and if it comes up, it comes up. So, yeah, you guys saddle up to Earl, and he's just,
I'm sorry.
and he's just like, he sees you, and his friends are kind of like look over at you, and they all kind of like smile and raise their drinks as the 4 people that started the party. And he kind of just looks and he's like, "Can I help you?"
I try and do a
you sure
secret
can.
handshake with him that I don't know and he doesn't know either.
So it's just awkward.
I go up to him and I sit down and I look at him gravely and I'm like, I'm actually searching for a fallen knight of Samalar. I come from the Order, and I got word that one of my brethren has been slain, and I'm trying to get to Summit Hall. I heard you might have information on this.
And he kind of like the smile the kind of jovial smile sort of drifts away as he realizes this is a much more dour scenario. And he'll kind of look at you and he'll say,
I fill his glass with
and he
beer,
smirks
and
a
I'm
little, like he smirks a little bit. The corners of his mouth turn up a little bit. And he says, yeah, I ran into him about 10 miles south of here. It's about halfway between here and Summit Hall. He says, I was coming north, they were heading south. Everything seemed fine when I saw him. And he goes, but later on in the evening, before I made my way here, I saw five seemed like warriors in sky blue armor and white cloaks flying on giant vultures. He says they flew overhead of me and they headed south the way I had come from. The same direction that delegation was heading.
Headed right towards them. I knew it. Those stupid birds in that tower.
That's all. I saw him. We chatted a little bit, road talk. How you seen anything? Everything's fine. Went on, and then I saw those vulture riding warriors just overhead, following right after him.
They didn't stop for you, though.
No, they were up high. They were just heading in that, heading down that way. That's
yes.
So I don't know if that's connected or anything at all, but
yes,
it's the best I got. That's all I saw.
I lean over really kind of close to Lilith and I say, I think that tower with the birds was is involved in all of this.
Me too. I have very solid reason. Well, I know for a fact, actually, considering my orders, that I have a target that I'm supposed to bring back that is residing in that tower. Wonder how.
It may be beneficial for us to stop there on our way down. It is on way.
It is on way.
It is. I wonder if. Are we still is Earl still with us?
Yeah, he's still there.
He has not passed away, yes.
No. I mean, have we oh, thanks, Earl, and then gone back to our little booth?
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I think I'm down. I don't know if he's got anything else for us.
No.
Cheers him. Go back to our booth, and then I tell you guys, I'm like, all right, Summit Hall and Feather whatever Spire.
Yes.
Feathergale.
Feathergale Spire.
This one.
I really want to get to Summit Hall.
Okay.
But
how about if we spend the night here for tonight, rest up, we get that set and squared away. Tomorrow in the morning when we wake up, we can go get some riding horses, and if it's 20 miles south, I feel like we can take the riding horses down to Summit Hall, see what the deal is there, and then ride back in the same day. Use our second night here, and then in the next day, head over and possibly go to the Spire.
You want to hit Summit Hill first. You want to 20 miles to come 20 miles back to go back to
is it along the same route? Because I thought Summit Hill, where the Spire was
south of us,
isn't it? It's south of Red
or is
Larch.
it west?
It's south of Red Larch.
Okay.
We have to go all the way right.
Hold on, let me pull up the map. I want to look.
Yeah, basically, Red Larch is directly west of Summit Hall, but on two, you got Red Larch and Summit Hall. So
it's a triangle.
Belliard's up there. The Spire is closer to Red Larch. You could go to Summit Hall, continue to go south to Wamford, which is a town, and then go up to Red Larch. That keep you on the road, and with horses you can make it pretty quick. I mean, alternatively, you could...
Oh, Feathergale Spire is so close to Red Larch. Oh my gosh.
Yes. You could... Your other option
there.
is go to Summit Hall, go back to Belliard, ride the horses across the bridge,
No.
and then go through the Somber Hills.
I vote that we go to Summit Hall, return to Belliard for a second night, and then take the horses through. There's the large path that we could ride to get back. That's the route that we took to get here, right?
Right, but the large pat from Belliard, you have to go across the bridge.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean, you could take him across the bridge. You realize, like, if you keep the horses, right? If you take the horses to Summit Hall, and then your options basically are either go back across the stone bridge, or go from Summit Hall all the way south to Wamford, because you need a means to cross the river. Right? You either the bridge or the... Actually.
Yeah, we don't have to go back to Belliard. Yeah, I paid for 2 nights, whatever. I'm not worried about it. Let's go to Summit Hall, rest there, and continue onward the next day. We don't have to come back to Belliard.
Unless, yes, I agree.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm quite sure that my Knights of Samalar will allow us to stay there.
That's fine.
Sometimes, were there any shops in Belliard?
Yeah, were you looking for... There were nothing too crazy. Were you looking for something specific?
Just arrows.
Yeah, you could find... I mean, there's...
I'm down to, like, 4, I think.
Okay, yeah. There's, like, a blacksmith. So there's, basically a road provision shop, right? Because people are traveling, cattle drivers. You're going to need to either have blacksmith, who mostly does horseshoes, right? Obviously, but and, like, plows and stuff. But they can whip up some or have some arrows for hunting or otherwise on the road. So that's sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm guessing is it after dinner? Is it late in the evening?
It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock by now. Because you remember you talked to the bartender at about 5.
Okay. Should we attempt to see Town Master tonight or in the morning?
Maybe in the morning.
I say we drink some more. We sleep. Or don't. I don't.
Let's enjoy ourselves.
Yes. And, and then we get up tomorrow bright and early. Go see
Town
him.
Master.
Horses Road.
Okay.
The Horses Road. The road for horses.
Correct.
Yep. All right. So you guys will do that then. Drink it's all you want. Read and or study magic and or party, whatever it is you do.
PTFO.
Yeah.
Party's joy.
Yeah. Party hard.
Tail.
Okay.
Lilith is like, I'm gonna go to my room and fall the fuck asleep.
Vanan says that too. Davis is trying not to do that.
We've noticed.
I've been moving for the past 3 days.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, it's all
I like
more
just
coffee. More coffee.
Yeah, I had some. I need more.
So, you guys are able to do whatever you wish to do through the evening to the morning, where you guys will have breakfast at the inn, and then you guys can head out to either go talk to the town master or acquire horses, arrows, and any other relatively simple road-like provisions that you would like to acquire.
Yeah. Nice.
So horses, just to give you guys a reference, riding horses will run you...
Oh, no.
I think it's that
I think
much.
it's a lot.
I do too.
75.
Gold?
Yeah.
Each?
Oh.
Yes, per horse.
Oh.
Oh!
I don't even think we have the budget for this.
So if you want
how much?
After spending money on the
75.
rooms, I have 97 gold pieces.
We have a lot of gold, don't we?
We as a group currently have 176 gold, 500 silver, and some copper, like 500 copper. As well as, we do have some gems and some moonstones.
The 500 silver is 50 gold.
Right.
Copper.
Right.
Yes.
I vote we bargain. Who do I have to talk to? I'm gonna talk somebody down.
I
Who
will
am I
tell
talking
You
you.
gotta shoot with an arrow to get a horse around here.
I will
to?
tell you that draft horses, so you want like a Clydesdale, right? Like something slow for pulling stuff, is 50 gold. A riding horse, we're looking at 75. And I'm not even going to bother telling you how much a war horse is because you can't afford it.
How much is a warhorse?
400.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's as fast. It's stronger than a draft horse, but it's still as fast as a riding horse.
Hey, Lilith,
Yeah.
we're only a couple thousand away from getting you that plate armor.
Okay, Igni pulls out, she has on her person for the group 4 gems that are worth 50 gold pieces each, and 2 moonstones worth 50 gold pieces each, totaling 300 gold pieces.
Okay.
And so she's gonna try to bargain for the horses based on gemstones versus hard gold.
Okay, go ahead and make me a persuasion check to convince the local.
Did I get that? So only an 11.
Don't you have inspiration still?
Do I? Am I
Maybe.
inspired? I am inspired.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Do it. Oh my god.
So what do I roll to add for it? Just
You
adds
just
it?
no
You
add
just-
a
Where you get advantage.
yeah, so you can roll
Oh.
again.
Well, that is so much better. That would be a 22.
He kind of scratches his squirrely beard, looks at you, and you're trying to get 4 riding horses for 300 gold worth of gems.
Correct.
Ooh.
Well, that would be even.
Right? Or no, you had 250.
No, 300.
No, 300 would be even. So that would be like fair. If you're trying to like
Yeah.
weasel him down, then maybe we could do it for like 5 of the gems.
Yeah, 75 times 4. I had to do that. I looked at a calculator.
Yeah,
so
no,
times
yeah, that's
4 is
it's
300.
300.
So were you going for the full 300, or were you trying to...
Igni's gonna try to talk him out of one of the gems, so down 50 gold pieces. And she comes in. So for the first time, she's gonna do on the outside. I don't know. Are we in like a stable or something?
Sure.
She's gonna do something. She pops her cloak off for the first time ever and hands it to Lith and says, "Hold the beast." And for the first time, you see that she's actually wearing this really nice like red leather suit that's so tight it looks painted on, and she's got these like giant dance sleeves, and she's wearing this really beautiful outfit. And she like changes her swagger to like a saunter, and she saunters up to the gentleman and goes, "Well, it is so hard to be woman on the road. It sure would be nice if I could keep one gemstone."
Yeah, you're still wearing the veil and all that stuff, right?
No, it's daylight out, right? 'Cause
It
it's
is
morning.
daylight out.
Yeah, she's gonna have to wear the veil. Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
she's in the full get up. She
All right.
takes her hair down, hot shit.
All right, shit. All right. Well, I was wondering because that's fine. Yeah. So he will absolutely, 100% take one less gemstone. So he will do it for 250. He might have potentially done it for less had you revealed the fact that you were a drow, because that might have scared him into giving them to you for
That's
cheaper.
true. That's true.
But yeah, for the sexy persuasion roll there, he will grant those to you.
Great.
So
She
you
saunters
guys-
back over and throws her cape.
You now all have.
Lilith is so fucking impressed. She's like, damn, girl.
Yeah, Igni
Damn.
goes, "My best weapon is my body, not my blade."
She wants to like give you like a low key high five, like
Yeah.
Like
She
a
has
little,
vibes for
like,
that, for sure.
Sure.
the great handshake situation. Like hell yeah. I'm glad
Igni's
you're-
foot like lifts as she does it, just like think.
Yeah, you're like she's all like Lilith is proud she's on your team. She's like, yeah, I'm on that team.
Yeah, so you guys all now have riding horses. For the sake of, because I know this is going to take longer than it ever needs to, because this happens every time, we'll let you determine what type of horse, the pattern...
God damn it, Olympizaner.
Whoa, okay. See, this is why I said we'll wait on this.
I do not care.
The no, that's fine. The patterning and all that stuff, and the naming, all on you guys. We'll deal with that in between sessions, because
Sure.
sometimes people will automatically know what they want immediately, or they'll be like, "What should I name my horse?" And then you derail the game for half an hour where they're like, "What's a good name for a horse?"
Oh, I've had the names for my horses picked out since I was a 5-year-old.
Wow.
Well-
Igni calls
Oh, yeah.
it horse. She names hers horse.
Igni's the best.
Horse.
Yeah, Igni's like, it's a horse.
Fair. Yeah, I did that. We definitely did that in one of my games for like a half an hour. I was like, I need the perfect name for my horse.
It's like it's a legit concern.
Yeah, I named it Red Hot Philly Pepper.
Which was so worth the 30 minutes you took to come up with that.
Oh shit, that's pretty fucking funny.
Great.
Red Hot Philly Pepper.
For the record, we may have to tie Vanan to his horse.
Yeah.
Can we strap him to his horse?
We just like drag him out of his room. Ozzy's like, "Yo, I need." We're like, "All right." Like,
somebody spiked his drink. We should take care of him.
Yeah.
So we just like tie his ass, hands to the reins. We hold on. Well, I guess we would have to hold onto the reins. You know, like saddle pack horse situation.
Rope. You can tie him to the horse.
We just tie him to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Do that. So you guys go to talk to the town master here.
Correct.
And he's also turns out he's the chief lawkeeper in the town as well.
Oh, I see.
And when you guys go and confront him at his little desk, what do you say?
Hi.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
We were told you are a man who knows things.
And he kind of like puffs up his chest. He's like, ha! Yes, I know many things.
We thought you would. You look like strong man who knows stuff. What do we need to know from him, Lilith? Ozzy.
You look like a man who. What do we need? What does he know?
What does he know? How do we get it from him?
First of all, what I'm Lilith Helder. I'm a knight of tier from the Order of Samilar, hailing from Waterdeep. And who might you be, sir?
I am Harold Pondon, chief lawmaker and town master of Belliard.
It's a beautiful town. Beautiful town.
Yes.
Thank you for having us in your fine town. I'm seeking the location of well, I guess I already know where my friend is, but I'm like, oh, I spoke before I thought about what I was gonna say. I turned to Igni and I'm like,
so I have an affinity towards mask, no? And we heard there was man here with beautiful gold mask. We want to know more about him. What do you know of the man in the gold mask?
He goes, I'm sorry that I can't say that I do.
Insight check.
Sure.
Oh, is he lying? Guess we can. They don't do well.
I got. Where is insight? Wisdom. That's also an 11 for me.
And
Igni got a 4.
He seems pompous. Doesn't seem like he's lying though. As far as you know.
Okay, that's fine.
Would you happen to know anything about the Feathergale Spire and possibly who resides there? The members that wear the sky blue cloaks with the giant vultures that fly around and scare everybody.
As you say this, his demeanor of pompous, full of himself town leader immediately changes to the look of a nervous man. And he will kind of like, even though like you're alone in his office, he like looks left and right and he kind of gets much quieter as he leans in and he says, yes, I've heard that there's tales of these blue and white cloaked warriors on giant flying monsters. They've been sighted near Feathergale Spire near Red Larch, and I don't want that rumor to spread too far because it will impact the commerce of my fair city, but I am terrified of what problems they might cause. I don't know much about them, but they've been seen about.
How long have they been seen about?
And he goes, well, it's hard to say with rumors, but perhaps, I don't know, months?
Have there also been rumors about folks in strange stone armor?
He goes, I haven't heard of anything, but that doesn't mean that there aren't.
So you guys are just plagued with the feather armor people.
I mean, they've been seen about. I haven't seen them anywhere here, thankfully.
Nice.
Well, what would you be willing to part with if we were to deal with such a problem?
Good question.
He says, well, I mean, I'd have to have proof that this was dealt with utterly and completely. So that would deal a great service to the town and protect my assets. He says, I'm sure some sort of compensation could be reached for that. When and if it is dealt with.
That's very vague. Are you asking us to
I'm not asking you.
Demolish the tower?
I'm not asking you to do anything.
This is true.
You brought it up.
I
Have
simply
they-
just asked as a temper as we may pass by. And
Well, if you're going to
want
do it
weigh the
anyway, why?
options.
What does it matter?
Well, we're not going to do it anyway. We're asking you if there was a problem for your town, what would a solution look like coming from the
Well, he says
mayor?
that there haven't been any sightings nearby. That I'm aware of. Nothing over the city directly. I don't know what their purpose is or what they do, but the sight of anyone flying on monsters in the sky is terrifying regardless.
So if they've only been around a month or 2 months, why was Spire there? Who was in the Spire first? What did he just pop up?
He says, I don't know anything about it. The spire's over by Red Larch, but they've been seen over there, and we worry that if they can fly, they'll make their way here.
It sounds like we'll have to actually go there to get any answers about the spire.
He
Well,
said-
we do appreciate your time.
And he goes, He says, well, I'm glad you enjoyed your time in my fair city. If you do figure out what's going on at that spire, we would be quite interested to know. Or I would. We don't want to spread panic in the town.
Of course. We will keep you informed.
Well, thank you. Yes, well, it has been lovely chatting with you all, but I have any points to a stack of papers on his desk. Much business that I need to attend.
Yes, of course.
Two.
You are important.
Yes.
Okay.
Bow deeply and thank you.
Let us, horse?
Yeah. Summon Hall?
Yes, 2 horse.
Let us horse. Okay, so you guys set out on the road south of Belliard, heading to Summit Hall. So the Desserin Road leads south through the barren Somber Hills. You don't meet any other travelers this day, but you find evidence that the trail supports traffic. Wagon ruts and mule droppings prove that people come this way on a regular basis. You find nothing else until you're about 15 miles south of Belliard, when you spot a cloud of ravens and vultures circling a mile or so west of the trail.
I'd like to slow pace as we come up on these vultures.
Yeah, as you get closer, it's a way, like, you can see where they are. Seems to be about a mile off the road, so you'd have to actually do a little traversing
see.
off to see what the purpose of these creatures being in the
These
area.
Can I
Are-
estimate, judging from the fact that there's ravens, there's something probably dead that way?
Yes, that's a reasonable assumption. Vanan would tell you, but he's asleep.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm still okay from the first set of dead bodies that we've seen.
Same.
Okay.
Because it's not that far off, it wouldn't delay your trip to Summit Hall if you decided from the distance it seems to go off there, especially now with horses, and
Oh, okay.
inspect, and then you could get back and you really wouldn't lose any time.
Okay, I was
Maybe
gonna
an
say, I could
hour,
I could also
tops.
scout it.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
an
true,
hour.
too.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. I could also scout it and come back very
Mhm.
quickly, I guess, if we needed to.
I mean, it's a mile on horseback.
Yeah, that's like nothing. It's just a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get closer. I could scout and bring information back. I just worry it is important body that we may be looking over.
Okay, I support you. I'll stand guard with Ozzy.
Okay. And
Yeah, can I
Sleepy
just
Van.
scout the area?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
stay on our horses and keep a lookout.
Okay, so do you guys all ride off together and then you hop off and go closer on foot?
Yeah.
Correct.
So, in a small dell about a mile off the road, Igni, you find the remains of a battle. A dozen dead soldiers lie on the ground, dressed in... Let me check, because they think they changed the coloration on these in the errata that they updated, which I don't think is much. I think it's just a color inverse here. Let's see. Nope. Deaths are in the road. No, okay, I guess not. Even though I feel like they're going to in a second, but that's fine. A dozen dead soldiers lie dead on the ground, dressed in black surcoats bearing the red emblem of an axe. Most appear to have died from battle injuries, although some lie in small craters or jumbles of broken rock. Abandoned and looted wagons lie nearby. A couple of broken trunks sit on the ground by the wagons. 2 rock cairns, one large and one small, stand atop a hillside nearby. This is what you see at a distance. If you want to move in, you can and inspect further.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Can I do that?
Sure.
Like stealthily, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Make me a stealth check.
Okay, that's 18.
Okay. Yeah, you slink your way in. You notice, I mean, you guys had already talked about it, that this emblem is the symbol of Mirabar. So you are aware of that because you discussed it when Lilith uncovered the graves last time.
Okay. So these are just more Mirabar soldiers?
Correct.
Okay. Anything with these crates?
I will get there in a sec. You can make me an Arcana check as well. It's probably not going to matter, but we'll see.
Okay. I'm at 13.
Okay. So, you move through. Let's see. The trunks are smashed and empty. You don't see anything inside them, and then again, you see. Let's see. A large cairn and then a smaller cairn nearby.
Okay. Anything in them?
Do you pull the rocks away to see?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, you pull the rocks away from the large cairn, and it contains the bodies of 5 dead bugbears.
Oh, damn.
They're all dressed in black leather armor with a small triangular symbol on it.
Like the one we've seen before?
I believe so. Let me just double check. Symbol. Yeah, the sort of triangle with the black line.
Yeah, that we saw.
The line in the middle.
Yeah, in the like underground area of Red Larch.
Yeah.
The cult.
Yep.
Yeah, it was at the cult. Okay, cool.
The small cairn contains the body of a human woman in monk's robes with a strange golden mask shaped like a snarling gargoyle face.
Is that the same woman? What was it? Lady? No. Yeah, Lady Stonebanner? No. We didn't have a name. We just know that there was a monk, right?
A monk that observed with a golden mask. Upon further inspection, you can tell that this is gilded tin and not particularly valuable.
Okay. I'm gonna take the mask anyways.
Okay, while you're there, make me a survival check.
Brilliant.
Yeah, lots of good things for Igni to be making.
13.
Okay, that is enough. You notice from the amount of tracks around that a large group of about 30 bugbears and other medium humanoids wearing boots headed west into the hills.
Okay. Is that towards... hang on.
Towards the river.
Oh, towards the river.
Yes, because you're west
away,
towards the river.
away. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I would like to go back to the group and.
Okay. Yeah.
So I head back. And I basically it was large battle. There were dead soldiers from Mirabar, and strange enough, there was 5 bugbears buried with that same little triangle shape from the cult back in Red Larch. And look, I found the mask. Then she holds up the red mask and says, "This was undead woman."
It was a woman in monk's robes, and it is
monk's robes.
A golden mask shaped like a snarling gargoyle face.
History check?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
'Tis a 13.
22.
It doesn't ping as anything you've heard of, but it does remind you both of the fact that Senya said she saw a monk someone in monk's robes with a golden mask observing the delegation from Mirabar and left before them and was never seen again. You don't know how many people travel around with gold masks, but actually, and we'll say she told you that it was sort of snarly, so you would imagine this is that same mask.
Which is that, yeah.
Did you check to see if she had anything else on? Or just the mask?
I did not check, which is uncharacteristic of the rogue. But she but the mask seemed like gold, so I brought it. What else was there? There were other things. There were some wagons.
Broken wagons, looted.
Oh, there were more bugbears. They headed west towards the river.
Oh.
Opposite direction the way we go.
Yes, you guys are going south. They went west. You also, you noticed too. The only thing that sort of seemed a little bit odd to you, Igni, was that a lot of them seem to have died from battle injuries, although some were in like craters set in the ground, dead bodies in craters amidst jumble like broken rock. So like most people seem to be stab wounds or arrows, but some people were like if you put a pocket, like a crater in, the bodies were in it, surrounded by rocks.
So I also relayed that information, kind of like lay the picture out for them. That half the bodies were stabbed, battle wounds, half of them not so much. And we're in these strange craters with rocks.
Right, and there was a dozen dead Mirabaran soldiers.
Right, with the black, the
symbol of Mirabar
axe. Yep.
Does that
Not the red
crater thing sound like some sort of magic that I might know about that have done that?
Possibly. You'd have to go look at it to really
to
check it out. You could. I mean, it's not that far if you want. And you remember you guys moved off and she scouted ahead. You could go over there and check it out if you wanted.
I don't really want to, but I'm kind of intrigued as to what could have caused that.
Well,
so when you say rocks do they look like specifically place rocks? Or are we talking like somebody dropped a boulder and it cracked open, like left a hole in the ground and like smashed open kind of a thing? Does that make sense?
It possibly.
Yes.
I think
I don't know what to make of all of this.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear that any of the bodies you found matched the descriptions of anyone you know to be in the delegation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just another. It looks like a task force went out and
correct
got knocked out.
Yes, and the rest of them continued.
It sounds like Mirabar knows what's going on.
I'd say that, but 30 bugbears. 30.
I'd like to avoid that at all costs.
Me too.
Maybe we should just continue down to
Summit Hall.
Let me rephrase that as well.
And then
30 bugbears and medium humanoids wearing boots. So there are 30 bugbears and then also other people in boots.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Summit Hall.
Headed west into the hills.
I choose the birds.
Fair. Ozzy, did you want to go check those out, or were you not going to do that?
No, I'm going to stay with them.
Okay.
The wizard does not go off on his own.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could have all gone. It was just up to you.
No, we could go with you and walk. Yes.
No, we can. I think we should possibly just go to Summit Hall and perhaps maybe ask them. It's 5 miles away from here. Perhaps maybe they knew of what happened here.
Correct.
We can get more insight into what happened with them.
Okay. Yeah.
One problem at a time.
Right. So with that, you guys set back out on the road. We're coming up to time here, so I will give you the little intro as you ride your way into Summit Hall. We'll call it for the evening. So this small stronghold stands on a hilltop in the southern region of the Somber Hills. It consists of a stone hall surrounded by a 15-foot wall with sturdy wooden gates. Stables, a tower, a barracks, and storage buildings are enclosed within the protective wall. A banner flying an emblem of a crossed torch and a sword flutters overhead. As the party rides their way on their newly acquired horses into Summit Hall, we will bring the episode to a close, and we will rejoin them in 2 weeks' time, maybe, unless that's Christmas. No.
I think.
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I don't think it is either.
2 weeks will be the 18th.
Correct. It's
Right.
the following week.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So 2 weeks' time, and they will be in Summit Hall, and we'll see what the party can find when we get there, as Lilith is sort of on her home turf.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Familiar.
Yeah. With that, why don't we just go down the list? So I'll start with Bucky. Give us that elevator pitch and where you're located and all that good stuff.
So you can find me on Twitter at Bucky_Masters. You can find the show I work on, Taking Initiative, at TI_pod. And you can find any information about us or anything you need to know at our website, thespark.network.
Sweet. And Brittany, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Visual Warlock. I got two of the same, VIZUALWARLOCK. If you're interested in checking out Venture Maiden stuff, that's Venture Maidens at Twitter, and you can find us on our network, Don't Split the Podcast Network, amongst other sweet podcasts.
Sweet. Davis, man, you awake?
That's Davis. He does things.
Yeah.
Davis is part of
On Dank
Dungeons.
I just
Dank
put it-
Dungeons TV. Yeah.
There you go. There's a link in the chat. They just finished season. They finished season 1. Hey, there he is. Hey, bud. How you doing?
Wait.
Cool. Do your outro spiel about where people can find you.
Yes. General places.
On Twitter at Dank Dungeons TV in 5 minutes.
Yes. That.
Cool.
I
Thank you.
this.
Good. And Chelsea, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at little_red_dot. I do also do the Instagram thing. You have to add an extra T to the end, though, on the Instagram. And yeah, when I'm not here, I do also stream, so you can find my Twitch channel. I'm getting ready to kick up some cosplay stuff very soon, from getting ready for MomoCon. And and when I'm not doing all of that, you can check me out on the North by Northwest 5e storytelling podcast.
And you have some modules released that you've done, or you're releasing soon?
I'm getting ready to. My goal is the first of the year, so I'm like diligently writing.
And
as
are
much
you?
As I can.
Is this going to be DM's Guild?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna try
Very
to release
cool.
something. Yeah,
Nice.
I know.
That's
So we'll
pretty
see. Yeah, if I can get my shit together in enough time to do it.
Well,
Either way, they're coming. They are coming. I'm excited.
well, I will just tell you, as a veteran DM's Guild reviewer and procurer of many DM's Guild modules, which, by the way, I will have 2 DM's Guild review videos coming out, one this week and one next week, from some lovely folks who sent me their stuff to review. I will gladly provide my feedback to you if
I
you
would
so
greatly appreciate
wish.
it. These will be my very first ones ever.
And I can also do it in video format so people can find more information. But we'll talk.
Okay,
Anyway.
cool. Thanks, man.
So anyway, yes, and I'm Ted. This is Nerd Immersion. We'll be back tomorrow with more Tomb of Annihilation right here behind me. The party has fallen for their first trap and almost got killed by wine. That was a pretty crazy trap, because when I had to explain to the Triton that yes, you can breathe underwater, but you can't breathe under wine. It doesn't work that way.
I don't remember this part.
So
Yeah,
that
must have
happened. That happened, and then I told them, you can speak Aquan, the language, underwater. And they're like, sweet! So they start talking to each other, and I was like, but you're in wine. You just opened your mouths. You're drowning now. So that happened. But yeah, they're on about the 3rd level of 5 of the final dungeon, potentially soon encountering a Sararak if they play their cards right and or wrong. I can't believe they haven't figured it out. They don't watch this, which is the best part. So I can just tell you, like, full stop, they may be fighting a beholder next, like tomorrow night, and they just haven't figured.
Boy.
They haven't figured it out yet. They've been
So
gathering.
weird.
They've been gathering eyeballs
That is all very
to like
odd.
put in a door, and like
Wow.
no one has had the concept that like a bunch of eyeballs. I wonder what that could be for.
Oh man.
So, oh, and one of them is turning into a goat. She doesn't.
Oh, yeah, you know, like you do.
She
They don't know that
she
they're
picked
turning
up. She
into a
picked.
goat?
She's a turtle, right? So she's a turtle person. She
Oh,
picked
right,
up this staff, attuned to it, and then grew hair all over herself. So it's a turtle covered in shaggy goat hair, and they just finished a long rest in like a secret squirreled away room, and she's gonna get those peanut sideways goat pupils. But she
Nice.
Wow.
so
I would
that's
be stoked to become a goat. They are agile as.
well, you don't become a goat, you just become a weird hybrid goat person. Unless you're a tiefling, you're immune to the curse for whatever reason.
Huh.
But
Interesting.
they just kind of have ignored it because they found the corpse of the person who had it and were like, that's weird. I've never seen a goat man before. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy, goat man. Anyway, so and then this Wednesday, 2 days from now, I will be joining Brittany again, the twitch.tv/Don't Split the Podcast, where I will be playing an Adventure Mains game, and I may be back the following week. Sounds like 2 weeks in a row of me on Venture Maidens.
Like,
So that's
No.
very exciting. And I promise, Celeste, I will get you my character information after this stream. I've narrowed it down to 5 options, so from 7. So
Oh, last week it was 7.
yeah, so we're down to 5. So we'll see how much further I can get it down to tonight. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming out, for getting all of the support. There's going to be a big giveaway happening soon with the folks and my friends from Elderwood Academy, which may actually be another one of these, the Nerd Immersion branded dice boxes. They may be giving me another one of these to give away to you guys for a Christmas giveaway. Anyway, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you for everybody hanging out in the chat. We will see you in 2 weeks.
yep.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm so excited. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Bye.